What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Elite Encounters and our actual play of Paizo's Bloodlords Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'd like to give a special welcome to the Elite. That's everyone out there that is currently supporting our content, whether you're following us on Twitch or subscribing to us on YouTube. If you're new to those channels, you can respectively do those things, hit those buttons, and that will give you notifications when we go live with this role-playing game content. I am your host and game master, Patrick, and with me, as almost always, is Jacob, Jenny, Joseph, Mike, and Bess. We're here to play Bloodlords, and we're here to have a great time. Hope you're going to have a great time with us. You can have a great time with us by participating in the game. While you're watching on Twitch, you're earning channel points, right? Those of you out there probably racking up thousands of channel points if you've been watching a long time. You can grant 4,000 channel points, give it back to the channel, to give any one of your players a +2 on a d20 check that they can kind of put in the bank. It doesn't have to be used immediately. They can just have it for the day. So they can use that on any d20 check. Attack roll, a saving throw, a recovery check to avoid dying. You can also...
Thank you for looking straight at me.
Well, you're the one who needs it most. You can also donate bits to the channel. 500 bits will grant one of your players here at the table an honorary skull bone, and that skull bone can be used to re-roll a d20 roll. So what the hell is a skull bone, you might be asking? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. A skull bone is the token system. I'm working on it still. We're figuring this whole thing out. The skull bone, it's like 75 episodes in, or what? I don't even know anymore.
I think we're probably missing our cue. We should probably be asking you what the hell is a skull bone.
Oh, that would be
right?
great if, yeah. What
Hey,
the
Patrick,
hell is this? Yeah.
What's a skull bone?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Mike. Let me tell you. We are live, by the way. Not that that's an excuse.
Yeah, I think you're doing great.
Thanks. So Skullbone is the token system we use here at Bloodlords to represent the hero point system. Hero points are used in Pathfinder 2nd Edition by players to re-roll a d20 check that they want to try again, right? If they don't like the result of. And it could be anything, a skill check, a saving throw, an attack roll, whatever. Or they can spend it to force the GM to re-roll a d20 check or roll against them, okay? Specifically that person that's turning it in. Or they can turn in all the skull bones they've earned up to that point to avoid death, which is probably the #1 reason that people use the skull bones. You have to have at least one, which is why people hoard them and then spend them all at the last 20 minutes of the episode. It's a great time. We're going to get rid of the skull bone system starting tonight.
In the trip.
Yeah. So I'm glad we spent that time to workshop the live opening live.
Man, we'll just have to go back to the drawing board.
Let's just pass them out for tonight. We'll see what happens next week.
This is just, it's like a
Trial basis.
Yeah,
like
it's just a trial run.
It's just like the Queen of England. It's a figurehead kind of thing.
Hey, if the last 2 weeks are any precedent, I'll be the only one you have to worry about.
That very well may be true. Yeah, you've been scoring a lot of skull bones recently. Because I will give them out every hour as the episode or the session plays on, just like you should in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Every hour you should grant a skull bone for exceptional role play or a really good strategic move, or if you just make me laugh real hard. I've given them away for that. So I think Joseph has had a couple funny bones come out.
Funny bones.
Funny bones.
Yeah, so I have some back here.
Wow.
All right.
It's going to be that kind of night, I guess.
Everybody's acting weird tonight because the atmospheric pressure has changed drastically over the last 2 days here in our area, and we're all losing our shit.
It went from 70 to 31.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Everything's weird. This is like in an alternate reality. So none of this is real. So who cares if we screw something up? Because it never happened.
So what you're saying is if I die tonight, I don't actually die.
No, you'll still die. You'll still call that a TPK. But
if I die, it's a TPK? Well, I mean, that's probably true.
yeah.
Attack by standard. Wow, go get a swelled head over there.
Okay.
Dang, I don't know what that's all about.
So now that this is going smoothly, we're going to go to the next segment of our opening, which is called Actually. Actually is just a little a break we take to talk about rules that we may have adjudicated last week that we didn't quite get right, and we go back and flip through our rule books and go, oh, it's supposed to be like this or like that, and we correct that and come back the next week and say, actually, you're supposed to do this, or it is actually this, or this. And I really only have a couple, and this is like where this is like, actually is kind of borderline like, hey, this is great educational time. This is like a nice tool to like reinforce the rules at the table and make us a solid gaming group. and sometimes just me being a dick.
Well, it also helps with people who are tuning in, and if they watch, they're learning in the process.
Yes, absolutely. And those are the actuallys that I like. Tonight is just me being a
They
dick.
could also be learning that he's just a dick.
I mean, a lesson learned is a lesson learned.
True.
Yep.
So what do you got?
So, just a couple things, and they're not really things we got wrong.
Couple things.
Just things that I want to clarify, because there were some comments made, or like some strategies that people were throwing out that aren't going to work, and here's why. First of all, your Stony Hag's Eye.
Yeah.
You made the comment that, hey, maybe we can use the Stony Hag's Eye to unpetrify people. Do you think that's correct?
Probably not.
It
It's a
isn't- it is
completely
not.
different magic.
So it's not even that. So the Stony Hag's Eye, in the text of the item itself, says you could target a creature within 30 feet that can see it, and then they attempt a fortitude save. If they fail, they're slowed for a minute, which we know that. We've been doing that perfectly. On a critical failure, if they're already slowed, they are petrified. So yeah, they have to critically fail to be petrified.
Right.
Yep.
I haven't gotten anybody that far yet.
We have not. So that's not been an issue. However, you said, well, maybe I can use this to unpetrify people.
Uh-huh.
The key word is that touching the Stony Haggai to the petrified creature will remove the petrify condition, meaning the creature you petrified with the ring. So it's not like any of these maidens that you've been seeing out here, it's not going to work. And I think Ophelia as a character would know that as part of identifying
I
this
also
item.
probably would not try it.
Okay. That was something that was kind of spitballed last week, and I just want to make sure that you don't do that. Don't assume you can do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be using your hero points, maybe.
This is a level 6 item. Like, don't make me work hard for my money.
Welcome to the show. Your arm blows off. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
kaboom. No, just if you petrify somebody, like let's say you want to like control a situation and you petrify them because you want to capture them and question them, then you can unpetrify them with the ring, because you use the ring to petrify them.
Right.
So you can unpetrify the creature, right? The creature that was petrified from the ring, not any creature. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes these rules come down to one word, and I feel like a big jerk saying it, but them's the rules. The next rule is, this has nothing to do with the game, but I thought it was funny because I went down a rabbit hole after last section because the word proc came up a couple times. You missed this discussion. Proc actually means programmed random occurrence, and that is directly from a programming language used in the World of Warcraft MMORPG. And yeah, it comes up in multiple sources. Programmed random occurrence. Just saying.
Interesting.
Is that actually, or is that just me being like,
Proc actually.
And was this in reference to like persistent damage, or
we were
like a
talking
sustained
about
spell?
something procking, I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, my memory is not procking right now, actually. So
So
it doesn't matter.
technically, this encounter.
I probably was.
I feel much clearer.
Right, yeah. Don't you feel like you can go home like, I don't know, man, maybe it's just like this ingrained sense of like justice, like you have to know the right answer, and if the right answer is wrong, then I need to fix that. And that goes to my childhood. Like, weird story, I was in we had in science class when I was like a kid. Every day we had a trivia question that the teacher would throw out, and every time you got it right, you got a star. Whoever had the most stars in a quarter got a free sub sandwich or something. And I always won, which everybody hated me for. And one day the question was like, this prehistoric flying reptile had a wingspan of 25 feet. And everyone said pterodactyl. And I said pteranodon. And what do you think is the correct answer? Jacob, our resident prehistoric reptile expert.
we go. Probably Pteranodon.
Pteranodon was the correct. And she was going to give everyone a star, and I was like, oh, no, Miss Teacher. It's actually Pteranodon, actually. And so she flipped back to the back of the book, and she read the whole word instead of just the PTE, and said, Patrick's right. And the whole class turned around and looked at me like they were going to kick my ass at lunch. And they did, but I still do the same thing to this day.
Such is the lot of nerds like us,
It happens.
Don't worry,
and then
I corrected a substitute teacher
Oh no.
on a spelling word. They're like, that's not a That's not how you spell that word. I got the dictionary and went,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. And did the class beat you up at lunch?
no, there was no subs on the line.
Oh, okay.
It was just my grade.
There you go.
He just comes here, lets us beat him up every week.
Yeah, yeah. When we go to break, they all punch me in the nuts as they walk by. It just takes me back to 7th grade. Okay.
We do give you a sub sandwich, though.
Wait, when? This is
When
like
you get
book
all the
3 and I
answers
still
right.
haven't had a sub sandwich.
You're waiting for that 4th star,
Right,
baby.
after 6 books.
Yeah.
If you're really good.
6 books. Oh my god. Okay.
Hey,
Well, we got to shut up and get there.
Yeah,
now.
let's go.
we had a meeting and we brought pizza. It's not my fault you didn't show up.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't make it. I had to work.
Stupid
Okay.
work.
Missed the pizza party.
This isn't really part of actually, but I want to cover some things. So you have recovered a few items in your adventures as you have searched for Iron Tavia, and we've kind of thrown them in a spacious pouch and maybe, haven't
Set
talked about
aside.
them on air. We've definitely talked about them off air, a lot, some of us. And I just want to, we have had time to identify those items, and we're going to share with the audience now what we know those are. So the first thing we found was kind of in that stairwell in the Thornhearth Manor. As you were going up, there was all that kind of heraldry, and you found that banner that had the gold thread that was worth a lot of money, and a breastplate that had like a thorny rose motif.
Yep.
That breastplate Ophelia has identified as a +1 resilient breastplate.
Cool. That's super awesome.
Yeah. So +1 for resilient for those of you who are watching and maybe aren't familiar with the 2E runes. Resilient is +1 to all saving throws, right? Kind of like the old Cloak of Resistance. The second thing you found was that cool white crossbow that had several kind of lenses attached to the stock. I guess the stock is the proper term. That is a spirit sight crossbow.
Ooh.
Yeah, so spirit sight crossbow, you can look at it's basically a +1 striking crossbow, but it also has the ability to I think you have to use actions to look through the sights and see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal plane.
Interesting.
Yeah, not invisible creatures, ethereal plane.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
It makes me wonder why they had it there in the basement of the manor.
Well, it was sitting right next to the body of the benefactor. Right, if you remember. So it may have been his last-ditch effort to defend himself from Iron Tavia, as she was murdering him with a chair leg.
Interesting.
So it is okay. So let me rewind this a little bit. This is a little bit more powerful than what we've said. It is a +1 striking ghost touch crossbow.
Got it.
The crystalline lenses you can activate for an action. It gives you ethereal vision. Once per minute, you can aim through the crystalline lenses and gain imprecise vision into the ethereal plane.
That's pretty
I
awesome.
feel like that makes a lot more sense because having the lenses without ghost touch is like, okay, you can see them, but then you can't shoot them.
Yeah, depending on the nature of the creature, right? But
Right, that makes
ethereal
sense.
plane is like another plane of existence, and so the ethereal plane is like if a creature is like ethereal jaunting, and they're bouncing back and forth between a material and ethereal plane because of a spell, you can still see them and shoot them. So that would remove that flat check to hit them.
I think the classic example is like a phase spider or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
jumping in and out of the plane.
Yep, great callback. So those are the two really cool magic items you have. Now I would imagine Ophelia has that crossbow stowed somewhere. Maybe she got rid of her old +1 striking crossbow and traded it out and just converted to this straight away. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the only difference is the lenses, because I had ghost.
Oh, you
touch
already
on
had
mine.
ghost touch? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it's up to you. I leave you to manage your equipment as you should. That is it for those items.
Super cool.
+1 resilient breastplate. Lara taking that?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what we're doing?
Okay.
Here we go, breastplate, huh?
Well,
Can
it's
you wear
kind of a
medium
joke.
armor?
You want a ghost touch crossbow? You can shoot Mert in the butt.
No. No, you can.
Yeah, but now the
Shoot
party
him
does
in
have
the
+2
butt.
+1 ghost touch crossbows. So +1
wow.
striking ghost touch crossbows. So
Yeah.
that's
Might
something
not be a
you
bad
can.
idea to share the wealth.
Yes. You may.
I mean, I have one. Oh, I have a +1
Yep.
ghost touch already. The only difference between mine and the white one is the lenses, where you can
Right.
see into the
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, but we could do that off air because we want to get to playing the game tonight.
Heck
Yeah, we do.
Before we do
Oh, I
that,
don't
let's talk
know.
about what happened last time. The party is hot on the trail of Iron Tavia, a hag that has somehow risen and is now undead and has started wreaking havoc across southern Geb in her
Unlife?
hunt, her search for something. You know that this sketch that was left in her cottage, she drew that, and that something about that is there's a psychic connection to her for that. Remember, you keyed in on that when you talked about the Vitalarana emergence being psychically connected to their creator, Tavia.
Mm-hmm.
She also must be psychically connected somehow to her creator. So this sketch of this manor may pertain to that.
That's a pretty awesome sketch.
Well, okay, drawing. She spent a lot of time. It's a drawing.
A drawing.
Anyway, last time you guys basically were fighting down her Vitalarana emergent spawn in the Undermarket, and you defeated the second one. You studied the creature itself and the writings on the wall, and you determined that there is this weird psychic connection between the spawn and their creator, Iron Tavia. You explored the catacombs further, looking for more of these kind of carvings in the walls for about 3 hours until you emerged in a whole nother part of the market. And then realizing, well, that's probably all we need to see down there, you decided to start notifying various contacts in the market to tell them that it's safe Undermarket now. The threat, whatever is causing this plague of forgetfulness in the market, is now gone. The group was told to report to Tholga, the chairperson of the Merchant Guild for the Hollow Flesh Market, and she declared that there would be a celebration, much to Seldig's chagrin, I'm sure. Seldig was also informed of the party's findings, and he allowed them this chance to kind of unwind and have this party that evening. Part of that party was they were awarded some free items from the Hollow Flesh Market, some trade goods that they can take on their journey with them to help prepare them for the journey south. Why are they going south? They decided to head to the Field of Maidens because all of these carvings in the catacombs seem to point to this Field of Maidens, a section of southern Geb where a Holoma army tried to invade the southern part of the nation from the neighboring country of Holomog, and that invading force was petrified in one fell swoop by Geb many, many years ago. You traveled for 4 days. Almost said 4 years. That's the 4 days. And you arrived at an overlook, kind of scouting out this valley below you, and you saw what dotting the landscape were hundreds of these statues of female warriors in various poses. Amon and Ophelia worked together to kind of scout out various camp locations and decided to camp right under this overlook because of its security against the weather, and it's also an easily defensible spot. Ophelia was also able to find a trail that would lead down safely into the valley. You set up your base camp. Seldig was called away to Mekatar. After you set up your base camp, you decided to go explore an abandoned camp a few miles to off to the east, I think it was. And as you were exploring this camp, you found some weird kind of remnants of an old camp, some tents, a buried barrel of water that's still cold and potable because it's been buried in the sand, and a couple weeks worth of dried out, I don't know, they're still edible. They're just a little dehydrated rations.
I found out this was like, what, a month ago or so? That this camp was...
Yeah, you think based maybe on the tracks, and I think there was some survival rolls that it's been at least a month since anybody was in this camp. There's still like a fire pit, and maybe based on some of that and some of the tracks. As you're exploring this abandoned camp, a number of these statues came to life and started attacking the group. We got through about a round of combat, and we're going to pick right up at the start of round 2 as you continue to defend yourselves against these stone sisters. So we'll get right into it, right into round 2. That means the music will change, and one of these stone sisters is going to get to go. Let me pull up their stats so I
Oh
can
man, that art is so cool.
hit you appropriately.
Right?
Not the traditional like stone construct that is like grinding at every joint to
Right.
move towards you.
Yeah, these are moving with grace and fluidity
Yeah.
of a warrior, and as they've been struck, you've noticed like some strange bleeding in these things as well.
Okay.
So the first one that's up is the one that's right there in front of Alara. That one currently does not have any bad stuff going on. Some of the other ones have some bad stuff going on, but that one does not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I have the crying. Oh, I'm sorry.
That should be in her aura of fear.
That is
Yep.
this. Yeah. Okay. No, this is this one here. I'm sorry. This is not the one for Alara. This is the one for Amon.
That's still in her aura of fear, though. 30 feet.
Whose aura of fear?
The Dirge of Doom.
Her Dirge of
Oh,
Doom.
okay. So she is frightened 1.
And this one out here is frightened
He
too.
says, fine.
Fine.
Hey, every +1 counts in this system.
Yeah. Well,
Gotta
the
make
frightens
sure
go down at the end of the turn.
Correct.
So, so this one on Amon. Here we go, sir. Does it want to attack Amon, or does it want to attack Mert? Or does it want to move and attack someone else?
Actually, there, it doesn't go down.
Yeah, as long as
That's
you
right,
sustain
yeah.
it.
I'm sorry, do you want to do
Don't
an
want-
actually?
Tune
a little
in
bit of a
next
mood
week
here
for
tonight.
Bess doing actually.
Yeah, next week we can.
Because I'm not going to be here. That's not true. Yet. Okay. I think this one has already tried against Amon. Mert has done a significant amount of damage to her. She barely was able to do much damage to him. So why don't we just step here and attack this other lady? Ophelia.
No.
Yeah, here we go.
Wow.
Yep.
You weren't kidding.
Nope. So this stony scimitar is going to swing out at you.
No.
Okay.
She
That's a
misses.
27.
Damn it.
She does not miss.
Does not
Retributive
miss.
strike.
Okay.
So that negates 10 points.
Okay, so that will negate 1 point of slashing. You'll take 1 point of slashing, I should say. And you also take some bludgeoning damage. Because this is a stone weapon, and as it cuts you, it also
Bops me
bops
on
you.
the head.
Yeah, it's a combination of slashing and bludgeoning damage. 6
Okay.
points of bludgeoning, so a total of 7 damage. And now Amon,
23 to hit.
23 to hit, does not hit. Oh, sorry, Frightened 1 does hit. Does hit.
Let's go.
You cheating bunch of... Okay. All right, so you do successfully strike this creature
I like
with
that.
a slashing weapon.
18 slashing.
18 slashing.
No, wait.
damage.
Yeah, 18. 18 slashing.
Okay, so again, not quite as much as you would expect. Okay, so and then for its second action, it will swing again at Ophelia. Wow. That's a 31.
That is a hit.
Shield block.
Is that a
No, it is not a crit.
not a crit? Your AC is higher than 21?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not much, but yeah.
All right, fair enough. Are you shield blocking this?
Yeah, I'll shield block that.
Okay, so you have 2 reactions and you're shield wardening in this?
Yes.
Wardening
Yep.
in it?
Shield, yeah. Something I have gives me another one, another reaction for shield block, and then I can use shield warden.
Okay,
to
so
protect.
10 slashing
That's legit.
and 1 bludgeoning, so 11 damage total. So your shield takes 1 and you take 1. Or shield takes 1 and she takes 1 because you're blocking her.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you play a simple character?
I love
Let's go
champion,
back
dude.
to
They're so cool.
They are very cool.
just
and
you
I'm
wait,
giving
buddy.
a hard time.
Just you wait.
Just
buddy.
you wait.
All right.
He'll have, like,
I'm
8
really
reactions.
excited about
Yeah.
Amon taking all the turns. Okay.
We're also very excited about Amon taking all the turns.
At least he's here to take them.
That's
And not
correct.
playing and you're not laying him.
Because then he wouldn't take the turns.
Yeah, he
Right.
would just be like, all right, what's going on? I feel kind of lazy today, guys.
getting her face wrecked.
Let's see. Okay, so now the next creature that is going to act is this column way over here, who is under the effect of some kind of confusion nonsense. And I think that was from a critical failure. Yeah, so I don't have my wits about me and I attacked wildly. I'm considered off guard, and I don't treat anyone as my ally. I cannot delay, I cannot ready, and I cannot use reactions. Poop. I must use all my actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips. But I can use other actions to facilitate, like draw a weapon or move, etc. And whoever I attack is determined randomly by the GM. Okay. So I've got a lot of sweet targets right in front of me. The closest one, let's see.
Themselves is technically close.
No, they don't attack themselves. You babble incoherently. This isn't 1E. You get your 1E out of my 2E.
Roll some percentiles.
Get your 1E out of my 2E.
Yeah. Don't get time for that.
I mean,
So you know what? The closest thing that seems to be a threat is this other statue. So it's just going to come sliding up behind its enemy and attack it.
It's now frightened 1.
And I roll a natural 1.
Yay! No.
That's good for you, right?
It's good for me, maybe.
Gonna pull that card.
So natural 1 is going to result in one of these fumble cards.
All right.
Only on natural 1s, natural 20s.
While you're drawing that, Patrick,
What, you got another reaction?
no,
Okay.
no, yeah, stop carding. No, my shield warden negates my shield's hardness
Right.
in hit points, which is 9. So if it was 11, then you would take an additional point of damage, and my shield would take another point of damage.
Oh, so 2 and 2.
Got it.
Okay.
Game breaking.
So Retributive Strike is my level +2. Shield block and shield warden is my shield's hardness.
The hardness, right. Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying
Very
that.
cool.
So 1 extra point for each of you. And everybody at the table take a point.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, what is happening? This is melee. Bonk. I'm stunned 2.
Oh,
Oh, no.
that's bad.
Okay.
That is bad
So
for you.
I'll lose the rest of my actions this turn. And then my next turn come around, I'll lose. Yeah. So
Oh, no.
actually, at the start of next turn, I'll be stunned 2. So I'll take my next action.
Yeah.
Hiya! This is only a 19 to hit, so even off guard does not connect with her friend there. And now it's Mert's turn.
Okay. So you said that his slashing from his Kopesh wasn't really doing as much as we were hoping.
Nope.
Then I will take a moment, or not a moment, I'll take an action. We don't have a moment. Time out, everybody. Hang on. I'm going to give a quick swish of the bastard sword to switch it over to a warhammer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swing on the one that's right next to me. In fact, I think I'm going to double slice. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see.
So bastard hammer and Caesar.
Yes.
Are you still hasted?
yep.
Okay. I'm hasted.
I'm saying, are you?
I don't know.
Should be.
I didn't write that down, so I don't think.
She's got
Yep.
haste on Mert.
Yeah,
written
you
on her
have
notes.
haste on Mert. That
Okay.
is correct.
And that was, this is only the second round, so.
I'd say I only mentioned because you could
Yep.
step and they would be flanked in.
I'm not tracking all your
You know
buffs.
what? I won't step, but I'll swing another time.
Okay,
afterwards.
great.
I think that'll work out. Here is a 37.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that is a critical hit.
Love it.
Here we go.
That's what I like.
Ah. $46 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's with the warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and dispatch your foe. Now, the double slice will carry out because you declared that
so
target.
I'll swing basically in that empty space after they collapse.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I guess I will take my last action to step towards the other one. Perfect. That'll be me.
And that is the end of the crying statue.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yep, that's what she gets for crying. All right. That's Mert. That brings us to Lysander.
All right. I'll take I'll activate my horse's support ability, which gives him move and an action. And I'm just going to move 25 feet up back behind Mert. Yep. And then I will cast Pernicious Poltergeist in that 10-foot square where all three of those guys are standing to get all of those three.
Okay, so you have to center it kind of behind them.
Yep.
To get all them.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
And I will do
Center it. Unlike.
the telekinetic storm. And they will make a basic reflex save.
Okay, all three basic reflex.
Correct.
Let's start with the column in the back. All right. That is a 24.
That's a fail.
The dwarf gets a 29
That's a pass.
and a 20.
And that's a fail.
Okay, so what happens here?
So you're in a field of mid. There's got to be rocks and debris everywhere. And so Lysander just kind of lifts his hands, and you just see this ring of just kind of like spectral energy come up out of the ground, and it just picks all that shit up and it starts swirling in a big circle, smashing them into the statues and whatnot.
Okay, so what is the damage?
The damage is 18 points of damage to all of them.
Okay.
The
So
one
the
that saved
basic
will
that
take
saved
half.
will take 9,
Yep.
but doesn't quite take 9.
Sure. And since I activated my support ability of my horse, anything that I attacked becomes frightened 1.
Okay.
Just in case, best moves, and they're frightened 1, and it will be on them.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
I don't anticipate.
so
I don't
we
anticipate
can-
Alara to stand there and
Yeah, I'm just like, hi guys.
fight all 3 of those dudes.
Yep.
How's
So
it going?
Okay.
I
Alright.
want to play.
Ophelia.
I am going to cast telekinetic projectile at the one with the wings. Who's closest to me?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm getting.
And I think that
guidance.
confused effect should be gone now. It was for one round.
Yep.
Okay, so the one with the wings, closest to you. Okay, got it.
20?
20 does not connect, so whatever you telekinetically fling at it goes flying off into the distance. You have an action left.
I do have one action left, and I don't have much to do with it.
There's lots you can do with it.
That's right. Recall knowledge. Drop prone.
You know,
Intimidate?
I don't remember
Stow
if
an item? Retrieve an item?
we did recall knowledge, so
You did not.
let's do that.
Okay, this is going to rely on your religion.
Okay, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
I had to double check. I was like, wait, is that one of the ones I have?
Yeah, sadly, you're not sure what these creatures are called, but you know that these are the Holoma women who were petrified in that war, or almost war in Southern Gap. They didn't make it very far.
Fine.
They didn't do so great. Okay, but that's what you know is that you don't know. So see, that's half the battle. I don't know. Amon,
Knowing is
save me
half
from
the
this.
battle.
Is it break time yet?
Please.
I'm going to defensive advance up to the one that Ophelia just hit, but I want to do so. I want to end in between Elara and Mert.
Okay, so you're defensive advancing to there.
Yes.
Staying outside of this poltergeist.
Yes. And then ending my stride in attack range, so I just raise my shield, run forward, kind of run around, and then just bash my shield straight in.
Okay.
28 to hit.
That would hit.
Okay.
Against the wings. Okay.
13 points of bludgeoning.
Yeah, not as much as you would hope.
So, I push that into her, and then I just take a swing with my Kopis.
Okay.
21.
21 does not connect.
Okay.
Elara.
All right. Okay, yeah, she's definitely moving. Down to maybe like 2 squares behind Mert.
All right, as you move away from that square, both of them react to your movement and strike at you.
Okay.
Wow, 34.
Oh yeah, that is.
Retributive strike.
Hang on.
Yeah, no, that's critical.
Okay. Can I roll my damage first? Or,
Sure. I mean, it's your call. You're the GM.
yeah, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. You just keep interrupting me. Okay. Okay, that would be 24 slashing and 2 bludgeoning. So
Okay.
26 total.
Okay, so
Minus 10.
He's minusing 10
Okay.
because of his retributive strength. So 16 to you.
okay.
And now you're going to swing.
33.
Yes, sir.
33 hits.
This is with my Kopesh.
Okay.
14 points of slashing.
Okay. All right. So 7. And then the other one will also take its reactive strike. Here we go. Natural 2. So that does not gonna hit. I don't think. What is your armor class here? Let's just double check your armor class. You're one of them squishy ghost ladies.
Not as squishy as I used to be.
Oh,
could be
you're
worse.
not. Yeah, it's a miss. Okay.
I was like,
Poop.
it's
All right,
been
so
worse.
you have moved away.
Okay, yes, awesome.
Now what? Do you have a reaction to her moving away?
No. I'll
Not-
allow it.
Not yet.
And then I will cast Noise Blast in the radius that is already there.
The same
so
10-foot
perfect.
radius?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Since
That's good.
I was
whatever.
like-
Okay.
Noise Blast now blessed friends, but
Noise
yeah.
Blast is sonic damage. We do this every time.
Yes, it is Sonic.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and it's Fortitude save.
Yeah. Let's see if I'm resistant or immune to sonic damage. Okay, so fortitude save, you said.
Yep.
Okay, those are fun. 29,
Pass.
19,
Fail.
and 28.
Pass.
Okay, so now I have to write pass, fail, pass. Okay, what's your damage?
Let's see.
Oh, yes, that's.
12.
12 points of sonic damage, but one of them, actually a couple of them pass, so they'll take half of that, so that, and that. Okay. So yeah, you definitely see them like, when that spell goes off and that discordant bass sound you said happens when you do that, they're like the stone kind of vibrates, like the rear view mirrors on a 2006.
Honda Accord.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
You see me rolling.
Blip, blap, bloop, bloop. We'll come right around to Elara.
Oh, you didn't put. Well, obviously, is that where you moved me? Okay. I wanted to be 2 back from Mert, but
2 back from
Yup.
Mert. That's too
no.
bad.
Like, sorry.
To here.
That, yes.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna move like 5 feet away.
2 back. Okay. 2 back. 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 All right, can I still get there in one action?
You sure can.
As long as their speed is the appropriate speed. You're trying to tempt me into a reactive strike, and you could suck it.
I think you can still get there with skirting around me.
Yeah, I could just go right there. Okay, Lara, here you go.
Okay.
We just need to make you grow huge.
20 is gonna miss.
Yep.
Not that kind of barbarian, but that would be sick.
And 22
Is that a miss?
is gonna miss.
Spells on you. That's pretty good.
Man, okay.
Mert is, yeah.
Brings us to this one. They gotta get out of this stupid.
I'm saying
Shite.
that Etsy Wits was a good investment.
Etsy witch, yeah. I paid well for
This one
his
is
downfall.
not gonna get away without provoking. Doesn't look like.
I think Mert is like dynamite. You know, small package, big effect. He's not the hulking brute type.
It's come to right there. Actually,
That will probably provoke from you.
it will provoke from you. No matter what I do, I'm gonna provoke
Yep.
from you. All right, but then I'll get to there. This is this one.
24?
24 is a hit.
Okay. 21 points of damage.
Okay. Even with this bludgeoning weapon, it's not quite doing what you're hoping it would.
That's unfortunate.
And another scimitar against Lara. Oh, 35.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. $22 combined damage from the crit. And swing again. Yeah, he's out of reactions over there. I see what you're doing.
She's too far. I still have a reaction. She's too far.
Have to get that expand aura
Yeah.
situation.
Well, expand
She's
this
still-
because it's a
she's still
27
in my
to hit.
aura.
Okay, normal hit.
But not for the shield block.
That's 12 slashing and 3 bludgeoning. Alara takes a licking, but keeps on ticking.
Still up.
Like Timex.
They must not have liked that
Still
sonic
not a
damage.
sponsor.
Huh?
So they must not have liked that sonic
I
damage.
know.
No, they did not.
It was not good.
It is now the top of round 3. And the non-confused column over there that's still stuck amidst all that nonsense has got to get out.
Dang.
Move to there. And strike Alara. Natural 1. Oh, actually, no, they can't do that. They're stunned. 2.
Yep.
They have 1 action.
Get there.
They just get out. That's their action. They will no longer be stunned on the next one. That's that one. It's Mert's turn.
Well, it looks like I have one, but I'm already flanking with Ophelia, so I'm gonna start working on that one.
Indeed.
With a good old-fashioned double slice.
Okay.
First one is a 25.
25 is a hit.
This is probably not gonna hit because it is a 18.
No.
Okay, here's the damage on the first swing.
This is from the bastard hammer.
War
Yes.
hammer.
I just love
yes.
calling it bastard hammer.
That's cool. You call it whatever
That was
you
a-
want.
It was my thrash metal band name when I was in high school.
nice.
Was bastard hammer.
It does 21 damage.
21 damage, almost. Okay. Got it.
And then I got 2 more actions,
You do.
so I'm gonna swing 2 more times
Okay.
with the bastard hammer since you like
Yeah.
it so much.
I do. Take
here
your
we go.
map.
I sure will. How about 20?
No.
One last time. Swing for the fences.
Even with off guard, 20 won't hit.
That's another miss because it's a 9 on the die.
Okay. That's Mert Lysander.
I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that up. So I'll sustain it for 1,
Okay.
and guess it really doesn't matter because if he's not in it, it doesn't trigger when he walks in it.
Right.
That's when I sustain it is when the thing would happen.
Yep.
So I'll let it go. I won't sustain it.
Okay, so get the action back. We'll let this
Yep.
disappear.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it handy just in case.
Yeah. I will cast a 3 action, or sorry, a third rank 2 action harm on Ilara.
Ooh, okay.
need it.
That's what I will do.
It's gonna be very helpful.
Indeed, it will. let's pick up the right dice and not roll d20s for my healing.
No, let's not do that.
You get back 35.
Well,
That's
son
fair.
of a
Thank
bitch.
you.
Okay.
So that's 2, and then I will, for 1 action, I'll put guidance on Amon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ophelia.
I'm gonna go with there's 2 of them.
Yeah, they're. Yep.
They're really close.
Yep.
They sure are.
And I saw them hit or strike out as Alara moved away.
That's correct.
Fudge.
Can always step. And then sneak away after that. Just more actions.
Can I step back where I'm out of striking range
Sure.
and then cast telekinetic projectile again at the dwarven, the short one.
Okay, the short one.
The short one.
These all look like humans. This one's just, she's a little,
The short one.
she's a short
Shorty.
queen.
How about a 31?
Yeah.
31 does hit.
Yeah.
Love it.
What sort of damage are you choosing with your telekinetic projectile?
Slashing hasn't really been working.
I mean, bludgeoning really didn't work that well either.
Let's try piercing.
All right.
Okay.
Love the experimentation.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
D6 is over there.
He says, "Thanks for rolling. They're immune to that."
I'll never tell.
20.
20 damage. Okay. So they do kind of lodge into the stone. You see, like, whatever chunks you're throwing at them kind of sink in. But they don't do as much damage as you would hope. It seems like any physical damage that's hit
Yep.
these guys, they just shrug it off, sort of.
Okay.
So you did 15 total?
20.
20 total? Okay, so you did 15 total. You see what I did there? I gave you something without.
Ooh, we didn't even roll that recall knowledge.
That's right.
Oopsie.
I didn't call, but I didn't get. But I've been paying attention.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think we figured it out.
It's like,
All right.
physical damage doesn't
That's your one
work
freebie.
great.
All right, so that's Ophelia. Now it's Amon's turn. He's getting all 6 of his reactions back at the start of his turn.
Dude, we're only level 8. You just,
I know. I
just
really,
wait.
yeah. I
Just wait.
Yes. Everybody's dream for a GM is to play at like level 18 and 19, where everybody has 60 abilities.
really looking forward to it.
Yep.
I am.
Okay, I'm going to raise my shield and defensive advance in between Mert and Alara again.
Okay. Shaken.
And then I'm going to swing on the one. The short queen. I'll do
Oh,
that.
not my little shot.
Little shoddy queen.
Uh,
That's what I have it written down on my initiative tracker as little shoddy.
Nice. How does that fit on that little magnet tile? I'm
I had
impressed.
write really small.
I'm impressed.
You done.
I'm going to use my guidance.
Okay.
0.02.
28.
28 hits.
There you go.
$21 points of damage. Slash
Right.
Okay.
So when you use your guidance, you just see like a spectral hand like come to your hand, and it's like the assistance. You get like support up the legs and just.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay,
Okay.
so defensive advance is 2.
Yes.
Okay, you got 1 left.
I'm a little spacey tonight.
You and me both, man.
We're all a little
It's,
loopy.
it's just
Something
a
going
wonky
on.
day.
It's 30?
30 what?
30 to hit. Oh, sorry. I'm swinging again. It's a 30 to hit.
30 hits.
Sorry.
Is that with nap?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna trust you this time.
20 points of slashing.
20 points of slashing. Even with the resistance.
Yes, sir.
You may go ahead and
Yes, sir.
dispatch.
Yeah, so
foe.
I raise
done.
my shield. You see me run in, and with that spectral hand, like I'm imagining it almost overlapping with mine. Like you see mine with,
Another spectral hand on it.
and then just slash, and then on the return slash just chips away at that stone, and it just crumbles.
Just
Yes,
kind of
sir.
crumbles
Heck yeah.
to the ground. Okay.
I love it.
And that's me.
The one that crumbled to the ground over there earlier, you see the stone is like starting to kind of like vibrate on the ground.
Why?
Alara. Why indeed?
Okay. So I just got the 1.
Yeah, there's the one that's standing out in the field, and
Yeah.
then the one
Yeah.
right by you, and
Which I'd like I have multiple options for Sonic, but they're all options that can involve friends. So I'm like,
Hey, I'm down.
so I'm like, I'm like trying to figure out like, is there a?
Whatever you feel you need to do.
there's probably not a good way.
If you take 2 steps that way, you can do it this way.
Yeah, but then she's gonna get hit in the face.
Yeah.
If she takes 2 steps that way.
Probably.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because
If she steps, but then she's got only 1 action left.
Right.
So
Right.
unless you had haste on yourself.
2 hops this time.
no, I keep like if I go here, go here, or like if I because noise blast, I do have a second one of those I can cast, but I don't see
Sounds
any way
good
I
to
can
me.
get a 10 foot. Like even if I step, I don't see any way I can get a 10 foot in there that doesn't get.
I mean,
somebody.
you would have to. You could step on the other side of it and probably get just it.
Well, Patrick, remind me, because last week, did you mention there's
Oh, that's helpful.
difficult terrain here with,
Anytime you go up a slope, that takes 2 squares. of
but not
movement.
down?
Yeah, not down.
Okay.
Yeah, so far everyone's kind of been in this little trough, but
Yeah.
once
Okay.
Alara starts stepping
Okay.
in this, that's going to be double. You can't step into that.
Gotcha.
But doesn't she ignore difficult terrain because she's a ghost?
Oh my god.
Yes.
I'm actually live at the table.
Yep, Jenny 730 Scobone for knowing the rules of the game.
Oh!
Go.
Here we
Yeah,
go
she's a
again.
ghost.
Jenny taking all of the
And
skull
ghosts.
bones.
Don't
Dang.
worry about difficult terrain.
That's right.
So you could step up that hill.
Okay. So if I want to, okay,
You've been stepping up that hill.
I'm gonna step up that hill and then.
Running up that hill. Yeah. Okay.
Of all the people who should know, it's these 2 because they brag
So
about it.
this way? Because if you step here, you're still.
Yeah, you'll still be
Yeah.
in that.
Okay, perfect. Yes, there. Thank you.
Now you need to make a deal with God.
Yep.
That's 2 actions. And that's your turn.
Oh no, now I've got the avocado version in my head.
I don't want to know because it'll be stuck in mine.
Yep.
Yes.
Please don't share it.
Okay.
You can share it later.
Yeah. Okay.
Tune into Discord for avocado
Yeah,
versions.
Okay, now
put it
she's-
in the Discord and you go check it out. Because I'm very
I can
curious.
do the whole video, but yeah.
Oh, let's do
Okay.
it.
So I'll do noise blast then in the another one of the without friends version.
Okay, so if you're going to put it, it's a 10-foot radius, yeah?
Yes.
So yeah, if you put it probably here,
Okay.
I think that'll keep Ophelia out.
Perfect. Then let's do that.
Sounds good to me.
I will take
Sounds
a-
like I need a fortitude
You
save,
need a fortitude save.
and that's the one with
I'm gonna regret this, but
wings.
you know, whatever. It'll help me. It'll be fun.
Natural 1
Ew!
Ooh, oh, that's wow.
on a
critical-
basic save is a critical fail, and I will take double damage.
We know all about
Shovel
that.
damage, deafened for 1 minute, and stunned 1.
Okay. I was just gonna take double damage, but whatever.
All these other
I
things.
really like that stunned one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's more.
Oh, good. 2.
Oh my gosh, you rolled 2 ones.
Okay, so I will take 4.
Take that.
I will take it. Okay, but now there's some rider effects because of the crit fail. So what else is going on? Stun 1.
Stunned 1 and then deafened for 1 minute.
Okay, I don't think the deafen is going to be a concern tactically for us here. Okay, that's Alara. And it's now the creature who is stunned 1, so I'll only gain 2 actions at the start of this turn.
Very timely.
They kind of beat my ass.
Yeah, and the 1 action is to run up the
I was
hill,
gonna say.
and they get a 1 action deal with God.
I think it's going down the hill, isn't it? Or is it going up the hill?
It's going up the hill. It was also in the
okay.
trough.
And so they don't have difficult terrain then?
She didn't step, she ran.
Oh.
Cost
Okay.
10 feet of
Yeah,
movement.
ran up
I
that
ran up
hill.
that hill. And my deal with God is a 35 to hit you.
Crit.
Can,
wow.
hey, can I retributive strike that?
I don't think so.
With nimble reprisal lets me. They're both within my aura.
Is she within 15 feet? I don't know. Sure.
Okay, so nimble reprisal lets me step, and then retributive strike.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Why don't you do all your stuff first this time?
Do all my stuff?
Yeah, so this is blocking how much? Preventing how much damage? 10?
It's blocking 10 damage.
Okay, so keep that in your pocket.
I have
Now-
a feeling you're gonna like this.
Okay, now I have higher ground to you, so.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, I do like that.
Oh no.
I do like that a lot. So let's do the damage first.
Okay.
Resolve that, and then we'll resolve your natural one.
Wow, Patrick.
So-
Wow.
All right. 30 total damage.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
10 of it is blocked, so 20 total damage. And now the nat 1 from Amon. This is with your Kopesh or your shield?
My Kopesh. I use the block fumble card reaction.
Oh, okay.
Champions blocking with
Block fumble card.
I play a reverse. And you draw 4. And you take
Oh no.
shield crash.
Oh,
Oh, ouch.
You take the attack's damage to your shield, applying its hardness. So this plays out actually perfectly because you tried to shield block and critically fumbled on your retributive strike. So maybe your shield is going to take the brunt of this force. I told you 30 damage,
Yes.
right? So your shield will take 30 damage.
Applying hardness.
Ignoring applying
hardness.
hardness. My bad.
So
Applying
21.
hardness. 21.
Okay. And that was for my slashing weapon?
This is just called shield crash. You deal normal damage to your shield.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rough.
that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, like you went to like miss, and because of that miss, you were like put the brunt of your shield under the attack, and it just really connected hard with your shield. And you were off kilter. This isn't Starfighter. I don't know. Just take it and move on.
It's taken.
Consider it.
Okay.
Liam Neeson.
I have an action left. No, I do not. I've stunned 1. I'm out of actions.
We
It's
love
the
that. We
top
love that
of
for you.
round 4. This poor, hapless stone warrior is way out there. Schwink. 1 move to get to Ophelia. Ophelia, that's a 33 to hit you.
That's a crit.
Okay. It's not a natural 20, so I don't get to have a lot of fun. But that is 30 points of damage, combined slashing and bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And attack number 2. Whoa. It's a 29.
Still hits.
Not a crit, though. Okay. Whoa. 17 combined slashing and bludgeoning damage for a grand total of 47, if I'm not mistaken.
Do they get that many moves? They're
Are you-
confused and all these types of things.
None of those
and-
conditions apply anymore.
Scary.
Yes, I'm still up.
Woo!
Surprise!
Okay,
It's good
but that
news.
is the suite of its actions, so it's now Mert's turn.
I think I have the movement if I kind of skirt around, because I've definitely seen them take reactive strikes at this point. So I'm going to get into a
Around.
flank with Ophelia on the column. Carieted column looking.
So 10 feet here.
Yep. 15,
15,
20,
20,
25, 30, 35. Yep.
Yep, so that's one action.
Yep. And I'm going to double slice.
Okay. This is on the column. He's off guard.
Whoa, 34.
34 is a crit.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go. Great dice, I must say. 36 points of damage, and then you will get the critical specialization effect
36.
as well.
Okay, and what is the critical specialization?
Fortitude save against my class DC or fall prone.
Uh-oh.
Neat.
24.
Let me take a look. Class DC. This is not something I pull up very often with my barbarian, I
No,
must
no.
say.
Probably 24.
Barbarian
24.
DC is 24.
Yep,
So
there it is.
meets beats.
Yep,
So I do not fall prone, but I took a metric butt ton of damage.
sure did.
And you're still slicing away.
Yep, and here comes the second hit.
Okay.
About 25.
25 is a hit because it's off guard.
Okay.
It's a hit anyway.
This is going to be 19 more points of damage. Remember that weaknesses only apply once to these two hits. because
Right.
it's double slice.
Okay. So because of all that, you may dispatch
Whoa.
your foe.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. Heavy-handed hit with that warhammer kind of knocks her off kilter, and then bring that Caesar across and just drive him into the ground or into the sand. And that's
Awesome.
the end of me. Actually,
That
double
is the
slice
end of you.
stride. I still have one more action.
You do.
So I'm going to spend that to get into a flank somehow with Amon if I can, or if not, Alara.
What is your current speed?
35.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's not quite. You're at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
So it will have high ground to you.
That's okay.
But yes, you are technically in a flank. It's a 3-dimensional flank.
Right.
Look it up. It's a thing. Okay. Lysander.
I'm going to do a third rank 2-action harm on Ophelia, and you'll get back 44.
Whoa. Is she in range? She is. You guys should spread out.
No, that's bad. Bad for business.
Yeah.
And then I will put guidance on Mert.
Sweet. Wow.
Bip.
I love a quick turn.
Boppity boop.
Ophelia.
Telekinetic projectile.
Okay. There's only one standing.
I'm still standing.
It's 24.
Hey, let's go.
24 is a hit.
Let's go.
A lot of D6s over there.
22.
22. Okay, it's still hanging on,
That's okay.
but you have done a sizable amount of damage to it. You have one action left.
Really don't have a lot of one action crap.
Yeah, you can try to intimidate it. Hey, you! Gonna get you.
I don't want its attention. No, thank you.
Okay.
You could just move away.
Yeah, you could move more than 30 feet away from.
Come back towards me.
Create a diversion.
That way.
I don't know.
I'm not going towards more of the damn things.
Yeah. Run over there to the middle.
What's the
It's
worst that
fine.
could happen?
Go pick up the
Yeah,
stones
I'm
that
gonna
are
go.
shaking.
I'll use my action to go closer to the Lysander.
Okay. I guess. All right, Amon.
I'll take a swing at the one right in front of me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also get all your reactions again.
Yes, sir. Just wipe that.
Yep.
26
So
to
cool.
hit.
26 hits.
Hit him.
19 points of slashing.
19 points of slashing damage. You can go ahead and dispatch.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, just chop at it and it crumbles to dust.
Yeah. I like that. And those that have crumbled to dust 12, 18, 24 seconds ago are just, you see the stones like starting to vibrate along the floor of the valley and start to kind of come together in bigger chunks. Bigger chunks. In the meantime, out on the periphery here, you see several more start to take shape. We're going to stay in initiative for right now. Alara, you see these kind of, you're kind of looking around,
Yeah.
and you see like a number of them sweeping in from far off the field that are starting to animate and move toward you. What do you do?
Real quick, I only took one action.
Oh, for crying out. Go, by all means, go, yeah.
If we're still in initiative.
Yes, we're still in initiative. I'm sorry. But yes, all jokes aside, please take your 2 actions and
37 reactions.
yeah.
I'll step forward towards them 10 feet and raise my shield. And that's it.
Riveting. I'm glad we rewound. Okay, Alara, you see this happen. Joseph, you know I'm just
Get him.
fucking.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't care.
Do I see 4 off in the distance, or do I see, is that just a representation of a whole hell of a lot of them?
It looks like at least 4 more coming your way.
Oh, at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
None of the other ones are gonna come back. I was like, I can't keep taking that kind of beating. Jeez. I mean, we're
Defensive retreat.
yeah, well, and that's but
Expeditious.
because our camp is like we're far away from camp.
You're about
Farther
5
away, yes.
miles at least
Yes.
from your actual camp.
We're quite a ways.
Yeah, and we walked, didn't we?
You did, except for Lysander.
Oh god.
Because Lysander can call his horse whenever he damn well pleases.
Them's the benefits.
I don't think Panic has a action, but no.
You can pee your pants a little. That's
There
an
you
action.
Crying's
Hey, if
free.
crying's free,
Crying's a free
peeing your
action.
pants should be free.
You can fully release your bladder for all 3 of your actions. It's a 3-action activity.
Now I have questions about ghost bladders, but you know.
Oh boy.
Well, let's get out the Book of the Dead and look
Yeah,
at
no,
I'm
no,
sure
that's
that they talk all
check
about
the
that.
index for ghost bladders.
Oh my god.
Ghost bladders!
Well,
Only the finest.
Listen, there are some games that go into extensive detail.
But we're not playing that game.
yeah.
We're playing Pathfinder 2. I'm sure there is. Probably GURPS or something like that. Like, refer to table 4712 on page 149 to determine how many bladders your creature has.
Babylon 5.
Make sure you push your glasses up.
That game, that RPG game, Babylon 5. Yeah, it goes into extensive.
It's kind of like the classic joke, like you don't talk about what your characters do, like outside of combat. It's like, well, if you've never said you use the bathroom, you've been holding it for how
I
long?
never heard you declare it.
Yeah.
Now, which way is our camp?
This might be a ritual.
Oh,
Wow.
Your camp is that way.
Okay.
like, at least 5 miles.
Right. I was just, I think. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna charge towards people. Like, come on.
You can always delay and see what happens.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I will delay.
Because, if you go that way, there's more statues that way. Like,
Yeah,
there's
no,
no
I
place
am-
in this valley where there are no statues.
Yeah, I will take that panic action. No, I'll delay. Yeah, because I need to see what's gonna. Because I'm like, are these things coming back? Like and what's the rest of the group gonna do? Because I'm hoping. She's kind of hoping at this point that someone else has a brilliant idea. Because she's like going like, we are potentially fucked here. What is going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
well, I wasn't able to give you guys any information on that.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. So we'll go to the top of round 6. And coming up over the crest of this little hill in the corner, you see a woman dressed in a stylish tunic, stepping out from behind a still statue poised atop a hill. A nest of writhing snakes sprouts from her head beneath a wide feathered hat. Round, oversized glasses with smoked quartz lenses hide her eyes. "Oh, no, this won't do at all," she exclaims in a melodious voice.
Oh, something in the picture.
She turns away and slowly removes her shaded spectacles. "Won't you behave? We have guests!" And the animated statues that were rumbling towards you freeze.
I would like to take all my actions to avert case.
Oh no.
She's not looking towards you.
I don't care.
And it's not looking. The skin cracking like droughted land in the hot sun, the snake-haired woman pauses, her arms crossed as if though she expects them to move again. "Back to sleep you go, you naughty things." And she turns and puts her glasses back down and starts walking towards you. "I'm sure they don't mean any trouble, but they're agitated by intruders, you see. Oh, not you. I mean the ones that way and that way. Remove them from the field, and we can talk further." What do? As you see that woman standing atop the hill.
Huh.
What do you do?
Well, if we are falling out of initiative, sort of, or am I
I
still
still
in
hear a
rage?
combat meeting.
Okay. If I'm in rage, then I'm not going to have much to say to her, other than, be preparing myself to fight the rest of these statues.
Okay. They don't appear to be moving towards you, so are you delaying or ready in action?
You
have the
I think I'm
wherewithal to
delaying 'cause
ready,
I
right?
don't think I can ready. when
Is
I'm
ready to
raging.
concentrate?
It is.
Well, poop, you can't.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll put you to delay. That seems reasonable. Lysander, what do you do?
I would like to figure out what the hell these are. I would like to roll recall knowledge.
On the statue people?
Yes, we'll
Okay.
start there.
All right, that seems reasonable.
My religion is a 10.
It is. Yeah, you're not entitled. You know this is the Holima army that got petrified.
Great.
What these creatures are, they're just petrified women. No real details.
What the hell is she?
What the hell is she? Well, I'll tell you. Or maybe I won't. It depends on your roll.
Yeah, it depends on how, what you roll for
Okay.
me.
This is going to be... Ooh. This is a society.
I have no
and
idea
it
what that is.
Extremely hard.
No idea what that is.
However, I'll tell you what. You could pause. Well, what's your ranks in society?
2, brother.
Okay, you know what? If you get a natural 20, you might know something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're not sure.
Okay.
You're not sure.
Last action. Guidance on Ophelia.
Okay.
That's me.
Oh boy. All right, it is Ophelia's turn.
She said there are intruders to either side of us.
Yeah, and she pointed like this way, like across the valley, back towards like where your camp is, and then in the opposite direction. This is very generalized. Now, if you like look around to see where she's pointing,
Yeah. I want to. Yeah, I want to
do
know.
you spend an action to seek in those directions, or at least in one of those directions?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Which direction do you want to seek in?
Towards our camp.
Okay. I'm going to give you a perception check with your seek action. I'm going to roll it in secret just to let you know
Okay.
what you see.
I don't know what the hell she is.
Man, okay, that's not bad. Okay. Yeah, so you look off in the direction, and you just, for miles and miles, you just see this like wasteland. You know vaguely where your camp is, but your camp is at least 5 miles away, if not even 10 miles. And wherever she's pointing, you don't see anything different in the landscape.
Okay.
And
Let's
then
go
the other
with the-
direction.
Yeah. And then what is she?
Okay, in the other direction, it's the same thing. You're not really seeing anything out of the ordinary that would point to like this is a camp. And then what is she?
Yes. My society is a 14.
All right.
Way better than mine.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
By the way.
yeah. Now this is, I have to bounce around all over different places here. Society is a 14. You just know, you have heard of this person, this particular individual, somewhere before. Maybe your time in Mekatar, you heard stories about this woman. This is the rumored Lonely Maiden. She is a Medusa who lives in the Field of Maidens. And that's what you know.
Maybe we should agree to go and... I'll tell them all this, and maybe we should agree to go in and take care of the intruders. I don't see them, though.
I'm on.
I just kind of, I'm locked in. I'm watching them to see what they do. I've got my shield raised and you just kind of see my eyes like from behind my shield with my Kopesh, and then I just delay.
Awesome. Alara, you've delayed all the way around to your turn.
Sure.
You've seen this happen.
Yep.
She's called out what she's called out.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I am. Can I sense motive on her?
Sure. Yeah. So that is also a secret perception. Okay. You think that whatever she has said, she is honest about there are intruders over there, and they're riling up these statues for some reason.
Okay.
And what she says seems to be true. And as you ponder that, you have a couple actions left.
Okay. So so Lara's gonna, I guess, yell to her and, how can we help?
Okay. So you yell out across this expanse of stone, how can we help? She turns and starts walking down the hill back the way she came, and over her shoulder she just says, remove them from the field, and we can talk further. Toodaloo! And starts walking away.
Well, seems clear.
Yeah. And it does seem clear, because
we can either
are
fight-
out of encounter mode.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Unless Amon charges up right now.
Charges up that hill.
Nope.
Okay.
It does finally become clear to Merc because he's finally out rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause-
So yeah, we'll drop out of encounter mode then, and we'll kind of go back into exploration. Is that you're at this abandoned camp.
Great.
You have this new player on the field who said, deal with these intruders, and we'll talk.
Well, I don't know what we're up against,
The
but
statues that were moving towards you have stopped moving. The stones that are
still-
vibrating on the ground have stopped vibrating on the ground for right now.
I still am just watching with my shield raised and my Kopesh drawn. Like, I'm watching them to make sure that they stay stopped moving and that she doesn't come back.
Okay.
I don't know what we're up against, but I don't think we were going to take on an endless.
Army of stone soldiers?
Yes.
It's probably not a good idea.
So who knows what? Because who?
It could be somebody trying to take statues.
If that's the case, and they're, ordinary thieves, that would be lovely. I don't think we'll be that lucky.
We could try.
We can hope.
We can hope.
If I'm standing in this area here, and she pointed this way and this way, is one way Geb and the other way the other country?
No. Geb is north and Holamog is south.
Okay.
She's pointing more like east and west.
Like
Okay.
along the
Well, I was
along
just
the
canyon,
canyon.
Yes.
My brain went, is there someone like collecting statues, and there's someone like trying to figure out how to fix the statue? Like, that's.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
in those directions, you know that Geb is... You're still in Geb.
Yeah.
But Geb is north.
Yeah.
Like all the more civilized areas of Geb, if you can call them that, are north. And Holamog is south.
Okay.
And you're very close to the border.
Cool. Well, if there are people that we have to get rid of over here and over here.
Do you look in those directions
yeah,
that
I
you
do.
pointed out? Okay. Back towards your camp. Like you know your camp is about 10 miles or so back
Yep.
that direction. And even further near the horizon, you can just make out what you think is a column of smoke rising in the distance, far beyond your camp.
I think I'm just like, so if there are things we have to take care of over here and things we have to take care of over here, and I'm just kind of like pointing at the little column of smoke and just kind of like, that wasn't there earlier, was it?
So you pointed out.
Yes.
Anybody else looking for this smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll look.
I think I'm a little distracted. Like, we just came through this combat with all of these statues, and this lady that we don't know said that they're all restless. Like, even if we're gonna go 10 miles in that direction, we may run into more of these that awake and attack us. So I'm kind of interested in trying to recall more knowledge about what these things are and maybe how we can avoid disturbing them. Maybe even the pieces that were trying to be put back together on the ground. Like maybe picking up a big chunk of that. Yeah, picking up a big chunk of that and being like, what on earth? Because you mentioned like almost like blood coming out, and Mert sees this stuff, but he doesn't really get to process it, right? So when he comes out of his rage, then he gets to kind of catch up and think about what's going on here.
Yeah, you're not quite certain what this phenomenon is that's kind of making them vibrate together. And whatever it is, it's stopped for right now.
Sure.
And you're not sure what these particular creatures are, aside from the fact that you put two and two together. You know that this is the field of maidens. These are the petrified Holoma warriors.
Right. We have a decent idea. You said they were starting to put themselves back together. Like, I at least have a rough idea. They may eventually just build themselves back and keep fighting.
Yeah.
Or at least that's my guess, right? That's my guess currently. Like, these may be extremely hard to deal with and could be endlessly attack us. Yeah.
Amon, what do you think?
It's getting late in the day. Perhaps we should head back towards camp and then figure it out in the morning. As everyone's talking, I'm looking ahead, right, and then I kind of lower my shield, unbuckle it, and then kneel down. And when I took that big hit, it just like put this big dent in it, and I basically just take it and kind of brute force it back into shape while they're talking. So I'll spend some time to repair my shield. And as I'm doing that, I'll say, perhaps we should head back to camp.
Yeah, if that wisp of smoke is past camp, then let's head in that direction, right?
Yeah, so everyone kind of has looked where Lysander is pointing, and you're not seeing anything on the horizon. It's just the sun is setting, and maybe that's playing tricks on your eyes, but nobody else is noticing any pillar of smoke. But you still see it.
Well, if you see it in the distance, Lysander, I'm happy to follow your lead. You see it from on top of your horse.
Yeah.
I'm like standing down in this little like sand drift I can't even see.
Just get higher.
So we'll head back to camp.
Okay.
2 minutes later, I stand up and strap my properly shaped shield back on.
Okay. Yeah, in that time, if anything else that anybody needs to do,
Are you still
kind of
hurt?
exploration mode.
A little hurt.
I can take time to do treat wounds if we want on Alara.
Okay, you said you see the smoke over there, but
Yeah.
you don't see it the other way?
I'll give you 16 back in the time that he's working on his shield.
Okay.
You don't seem to notice any smoke the other direction.
I don't see anything from that way.
We'll have to investigate that
We only
later.
get one direction at a time anyway, so.
Right? Yeah.
Right, but I'm wondering
least
if
we'll
we're
know what we're
closer
dealing with.
this way than
Yeah.
the other way.
Well, and at least we're near camp, we can rest if we have to.
And take our horses.
Yes.
38.
Okay.
So from the abandoned camp back to the camp that you have set up, it is about a 10-mile journey. So it's going to take you a couple hours. And like Amana said, it is getting late in the day.
The sun was starting to set while we were on here looking at the
Sure.
camp, so
Would you rather camp here?
nope.
Okay.
No.
Let's go.
Okay. So you make your way, maybe even a little bit more gingerly now, walking between these statues, being very wary.
Closer to the canyon wall.
I don't know, are you being wary? Okay, so you hug the canyon wall to kind of
Stay
have them
out
only
of
really
the-
be on like maybe 3 sides instead of all sides.
Right.
That's smart.
Stay out of the canyon as much as possible. Stay out of the field.
Oh, interesting. Do
Like-
you want to climb back up the ridge and go back to the wagon ramp and back down to your camp that way? Or do you want to like find the wagon ramp, go up, then over to the scree pile, right down to your camp? There's a number of ways to do this. You don't have to stay in the valley. But right now, if you're to just walk to the canyon wall and climb it, it'll be climb checks. If you go to the wagon ramp, then you can go up the wagon ramp, no problem. But then to get back down to your camp, you'll have to do the scree.
Well, we'd have to walk by our camp to get to the wagon.
No. You're in that direction.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
But we would have to.
Walk down the scree pile
Yeah. I'm content with just walking like as close to the edge
of the canyon.
of the canyon as possible.
Like staying
and,
near
the
that
canyon
wall.
wall.
Yeah, and keeping, if there's a defensive, advance, it would be on the one side we can watch.
Yeah, Amon only gets 2 reactions a turn for defensive.
That's right. Well, and if the sun is setting, we can
Well, that's
potentially use the shadowed
That's
edge.
not a reaction. But
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's a 2-action ability.
You shut up. Okay. All right. So, yeah, like I said, it's about 10 miles, and if you're on foot, then it's going to take you a few hours to get back to camp.
Sure.
And it's definitely getting dark when you arrive back at your camp. Gingerly walking along this wall, exploration activities. I imagine you're defending. Everyone else is probably seeking to watch out for
Yes.
movement.
Be scout ahead. Yep.
Scouting. Okay, so we got
Seeking.
scout, seeking. Okay.
Stealth.
Oh, stealth. Okay, avoid notice.
And I will, if she's going to stealth, I'll keep light up in front of us so we can see as it's starting to kind of get dark, especially in this little kind of canyon. The light's going to disappear very quickly.
Yes, it is.
And so I'm going to keep light in front of us.
Okay.
So
there's this pale. What color is your light?
so it's kind of an eerie, like kind of sickly green kind of. It's white light, but it kind of gives off this like green.
And it's 60-60?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just this like one sphere that just kind of leads out in front of your horse as you're walking. So like this one spotlight that just kind of illuminates the stone floor down the canyon. And every now and then it like crawls, the light, you see the light just crawl right up the cragged surface of one of these statues, and they're just, and then the light fades off of it again. Doesn't seem to move.
That'd be a really cool like little video package. Like the light just like whoa. Just,
And you've arrived back at your camp with no issues that you've noticed.
That we've noticed.
Okay.
What do you do?
If we're not alone out here, we definitely need to do.
Did we? I know we talked about. I'm assuming we did not grab those tents. We talked about them being.
We had not gotten there.
Okay.
So they're still out there. Now imagine like the barrel of water, we talked about how to transport that, so I imagine you rigged something up for the horse. So anything that was recoverable, like the 2 weeks of rations, the water, we can say you got.
Okay.
That's no problem.
Okay.
Because I think you were actively talking about
Right.
that last week.
Because I remember, because I thought for sure like we should grab these tents to make sure, because you were talking about needing to repair them, but they would be usable.
Yeah, the tents are still out there, but you had already definitely
Yeah.
talked about recovering
Yeah.
the rations, which you can just stick into your
Yep.
spacious pouch. The barrel, I don't know that it would fit in a spacious pouch, but
Right.
how much can it hold? 25 bulk? Spacious pouch.
Type 2
And
is
yours is
50 bulk.
Yours
I
is
have a type
relatively.
2.
You have a type 2? Oh yeah, the barrel can go in Mert's bag, no problem.
Now, as we got closer to camp, because you said that's the direction of the smoke, do more of us notice the smoke as we're?
Let's see.
Since we're-
So it has gotten dark.
Yeah.
So
But-
and dark vision only goes out
Now you can
as
look
far
for
as you
light.
can see. Oh, okay. So with the darkness, maybe something is off, but nobody else notices it except for Ophelia. Ophelia can now spot this thin column of smoke in the darkness, rising up,
Just because it looks more
still
like a shadow
further
now.
out to the west.
Cool.
Okay.
Possibly. It looks
So-
like from your camp, it's maybe about. It's hard to tell distance-wise, but it looks like several hours hike a little bit south by southwest, or west by southwest.
So would this probably be one of the campsites that we chose to not camp at?
No.
Damn. Just a thought.
That's what you see.
I'm going to.
I can see it now.
Because I can still see the smoke, right? Because I've seen it.
Sure, you know where to look, so yeah.
Okay.
I see it now.
When we get back to camp, I'm gonna have Remy pile a hedge, like a sand, like a big, like a, I don't know, little sand dune, and I'm gonna put my light there, so the light only comes back in our direction, and so it doesn't. If you're standing over there, you can't see a glowing light.
Okay. Is his berm going to be 60 feet high?
No, it'll cast the light above, but I'm saying you're not going to be able to actively say like, oh, look at that glowing ball. You won't see the glowing ball. You may
Just
see the
enough to touch
residual
the
light.
backside.
Right.
There's some light against the canyon wall. or
But
something.
a glowing ball in the middle of the darkness is like,
That's a little different.
what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be able to have the campfire and then put the ball like 60 feet out from where the campfire is, so we have some vision.
Illumination between you and the...
Yes.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, so I could spend a couple hours doing that, and he can work tirelessly into the night if he has
You
to.
certainly can.
What's everybody else doing?
I'll take my bedroll outside that little wall that Remy made, set it down, rolled up, sit on it, and take watch.
Okay. So we've got watch.
You have to sleep.
Only 4 hours.
Okay, but
I'll take my
Make sure you
4
take
to
your
start, and then we can swap. And I'll do the same thing. But I might actually step away from the light, so I'm not in the light. Just
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of lay
like
out in the sand.
So here's the light, here's the wall, and then I'm outside the
Yeah,
wall.
he's like in the shadow cast
Yeah.
by the
Yep.
berm. Makes sense. Now, it will take a little while for it to build up enough to where you are concealed like that, but that makes sense. That's fine.
how far did you say that smoke was about? If I
It's
if I
hard
can
to tell.
estimate
At least a
closer
few,
with
like at least as far as you just came from the abandoned camp in the opposite direction, and if not farther.
Okay.
Okay.
So, night settles in, people start resting. Maybe they don't need to sleep, so maybe they're studying their formula book. Maybe they're communing with their familiars. Whatever you're doing as the night passes, that's where we're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
So don't go anywhere. We're going to step away as they camp. We're also going to camp. And Cass is going to step away, take a quick break. We're going to hang out and talk and catch up with chat. We don't actively watch chat typically while the show's going on. But if you are on YouTube and we haven't caught you in the chat, be sure to jump into the Discord. And if there's any questions or comments or anything you want to give, feedback, whatever, just say hi, throw it in the Discord, and join us that way. We like to kind of continue to build our community, and Discord's a great way to do that. We're always in there hanging out and chatting, so you have access to the cast and crew that way. And then when we come back, and I know you guys have your ears in, you'll be level 9.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
Speaking of
look,
Discord, I told you in Discord to be ready for level 9.
sure did.
And I think you guys are all ready. So
we're getting some cool stuff.
I'm really kind of scared of what's going to happen at level 9. I think Amon's going to have 3 more reactions, and Ophelia's going to have more creepy spells. Lysander will get even more creepy. I don't even know.
Is that possible?
I don't even know what. Yeah. Well, he got that Creeps of Galarian book the other day.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
really been digging into
Creep-
those feats.
Creeper's Codex.
Yeah, the Creeper's Codex. Yeah. And
I actually
yeah,
haven't picked my spells.
everybody is. Well, we told you to be ready.
Well, guess what? You got break, so
You're
Yep.
right, I do.
make it.
And you know what's funny?
Well, so yeah, your familiar only gains a certain number of spells every time you level, so it's not hard.
It's like
you just
2 or
pick,
something.
Yeah.
pick 1 or 2 spells, and then of course the requisite spell slots that you would get at level.
Can always heighten one of your bread and butter spells, dude.
Yep.
It's always an
Yeah,
option.
I know.
Yep.
But I mean, I've just flipped it open, and the first one I see is called Blood Feast.
Ooh.
Now, as I said, you may only take common spells.
That's under my class.
Oh, it's part of your shadow, or
Wait,
It's part of
what?
Witch.
Patron?
Oh, it's just part of your patron stuff. Oh,
It's under the witch. It's a normal, regular 5 spell.
oh, you're talking about witch spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure it doesn't have the U or R tag, and yeah, I'm cool with it.
I don't even know where that
I think-
is.
this is a good opportunity to kind of like talk about what those mean for
Oh,
those
that's a good point.
watching.
Yeah,
during
so
an
And
for the
where they
audience, too.
are on the thing.
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead, Patrick.
So everything in the game has rarity. So most of the stuff that you can go to your typical shops, buy a backpack, some rations, a torch, a sword, some armor, that all has the common rarity. It's anywhere you go, it's easy to find.
Yep.
And a lot of magic items have the common rarity as well. They're not overly difficult to find. Now, some items are rarer and harder to come by. Those will get the uncommon rarity, and they'll have a tag on them that says, this is uncommon. And typically to get access to an uncommon item, it's usually behind a wall, like it's part of an adventure path, it's part of a specific region or religion has access to that. So you have to kind of confer with your GM before you just pick it willy-nilly and build a character that's just got this hodgepodge of different regions and different rarities and things that don't really belong and in the campaign setting. Now, if you're in a homebrew campaign, you can ignore that because your world is your world. And these are rare in Galarian, right? Like something that's from Last Wall, and only the Knights of Ozum know this ability. They're not going to train everyone in the world.
Right.
It's a big thing in Pathfinder society, like especially in 1E. Like every magus in 1E was a half-elf dervish dancer magus. Dervish dancing was a specific feat or ability
That's like from Qadira,
you
right?
only learned being a Qadiran sword dancer.
Right.
But somehow every elf and half-elf in Galarian had made their way to Qadira and learned this dancing, fighting style so that they can dance with a scimitar and have a wicked crit range with dex to hit, dex to damage, and maguses were just redunculous in Pathfinder. And then if you didn't play to type, well, you were stupid.
Because it wasn't the most meta choice, which I think is what's great about this system is there isn't really those ultra meta
that
choices.
dervish dancing feat would be uncommon because it is specific to a culture.
Right.
And not everyone in Galarian is going to know that culture.
But there are things that have the uncommon trait that, based on where we're playing, are more common. A good example is Amon's Kopesh.
The
right?
Kopesh,
It's uncommon, but here in Geb, right next to Osirion, that's not an unusual weapon.
It's
right?
a
You see that all over
thing.
the time.
Right. So there is some GM wiggle room to say, you know what, this we can play with this.
Yeah.
And that is
So-
something that we worked out before I took the Kopesh.
Yeah.
Right.
So some spells, like there are some adventure path specific spells that that Ophelia has learned. Remember that Ordegar Stitch Skull spent some time with Ophelia teaching her some spells. One of the coolest ones, I think, is Teeth to Terror. If you look at the Teeth to Terror spell and actually click on the spell, and you go into the spell text in yellow, uncommon. You see that? That's your cue that you have to have GM permission to get that. Now, Ordegar taught you that, so of course you have that. But if you were to just go into Goblins of Galarian and find a mud ball, I'm going back to my 1E days here, but that was a goblin only spell, so that would have been uncommon. But
I think like for my games, the way I try to think of it and try to help my players frame it is that anything with the uncommon tag, unless it has a specific requirement, I probably need to come with a reason why you can't have it.
Yeah.
And for rare, it's the other way around. If there are no specific requirements, you need to come with me with a good reason why you should have it, because it is exceptionally rare.
yeah, I like that. I'm going to steal that. That's a good
Because
rule
there are
of thumb.
certainly plenty of uncommon things that maybe Ophelia has because of her shadow blending and stuff
Yeah,
that perfectly fit her character, and there isn't really a reason she shouldn't have it.
I agree.
But there's going to be some uncommon stuff in there.
Yeah.
Now, if you're, John Fighter, you're probably safe because you're going to use a breastplate and a longsword.
Yeah,
But,
and those are totally common.
Yep.
Now, yeah, if you were playing this Fetchling Dampier shadow blending witch
just as an example.
that starts taking spells from like Irison and the ice witches in Irison, those probably aren't really accessible to the desert nation of Geb. Right. And that would be a situation where I would probably say, no, you probably shouldn't have access. That's like not your culture. That's not your. That's like me being able to play mahjong at a master level. It's just something that maybe culturally is so far geographically separated in a medieval fantasy setting that you would not know how to do that.
Right.
Speaking of uncommon,
Don't worry,
I
I
gotta
found-
step away.
Don't worry, I found a common one that's
Yeah? All right. We'll keep it in your pockets.
very, very fitting for my character.
Very cool. So yeah, well, surprise me. I mean, of course, I'll be able to just update your character to level 9 and look, but
We'll see.
we'll see how it plays out. And I'm actually not going to look.
Oh.
I'm going to kind of hold off. Now, Lysander,
What?
I know you got some cool stuff at 9 that some of it we've already discussed. So I know a little bit, but there's probably some surprises in your pocket too.
Well, I just wanted to know, the conversation I had with the scroll that I bought.
Oh yeah, we were cool with that.
Okay, we were cool with that.
Yeah, because
So, I just want
we
you to
talked
know-
about that particular scroll. It could make its way here.
Yes.
I think that's fine.
But what I wanted to use the scroll for.
That I don't know.
Okay. You do know, but I used the scroll
Has it been more than 3 hours?
I used the scroll to justify picking the spell up.
Okay. Like learning it
Yes.
from the scroll.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got the scroll, so now I have that spell.
Well, all right. Now we're gonna have to have a discussion.
Okay, great.
No, I'm kidding. What?
Fourth
Remind
rank,
me.
third one down.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
And what I wanted to be able to use it for, right?
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be some downtime research.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's.
But yes.
I was going to tell you that I'm going to start every single day with a rank 4 spell gone, because I will wake up in the morning before everyone and attempt to start experimenting with this.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
So I love this. Yeah, I'm totally down with that, and I thank you for reminding me. Like I said,
And we'll cross that when the sun comes up.
I don't even know what happened at work today.
That's fine.
So that's how I roll. That's how I live my life. Lizard brain mode. Yeah, it's time to go step away, and I will be right back. You can continue to talk about rarity, but I love that rule of thumb. That's a great way.
Yeah, I think it's a helpful way to have an idea of making sure that that player GM relationship is something that you kind of need to establish and help at a table, and it definitely helps to kind of know where that purview is. And you want your players to be excited and get creative, and if they see the U or the R or that orange or blue tag, doesn't mean that they shouldn't even look at it.
Right.
It's worthwhile to like, oh, this could be really cool and unique. Like we what's the classic example I've talked about, the crazy uncommon magus study that's like uses like a strap of fabric. And I was thinking like that was one of my first concepts as a backup character for Mert, or maybe even what I was thinking about playing before I played Mert was playing a mummy magus that uses like his funerary wrappings to beat people up. And I was like, I know that's uncommon, but this could be really cool.
So there's a perfect example at level 9 when I get, because you get access to level, what is this now, 5? Yeah, level 5 spells now.
Oh my goodness.
Right, so there's a spell in here that I have that I did not take because it has the unique or uncommon tag on it, but it's called Spiritual Torrent.
Ooh.
And when you talk about like there's a reason why that would fit, like there's 100% a reason why that would fit multiple characters at the table.
Sure.
And so it's like, I didn't take it because it has the uncommon tag, but if you read it, it's like right on brand for exactly what we're doing.
That's exactly why, that dialogue when you're building these characters, you just have them with your GM. And I think that in 2E especially, those tags really create really solid boundaries so that your GM can back themselves up and say, hey, look, this has the rare trait, so it's not happening. And, you don't feel like your GM's being a jerk by being like, no, you can't have that. You've got to be, basic. It's like, well, the rules are built that way, that not everybody gets to pick all the rare stuff.
Right.
So it definitely helps kind of referee that situation that you're kind of supposed to have anyway with your players.
I feel like the tags also really help streamline things, like from 1E.
Big time. Yeah, like you're talking about just traits in general?
Just traits in general.
Yeah, the trait system is awesome because it makes it so easy to know what tags you're dealing with.
Well, and when they did a lot of, like, I find myself, like, when I'm being attacked or a spell cast on me, I'm like, okay, what are the traits attached to it? Because there are certain things you get, like bonuses to, mental or physical or whatever, like, right? And it's so easy to be like, oh, well, the traits are blah, 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 and blah. Versus, like, well, hold on, let me read this and try to interpret what it says.
Yep.
Well, and in previous editions and other games and rule sets too, right? There can be a lot of GM fiat, right? Where it's like, I want to use the gnome flick mace, but that's part of the hammer group. So do I get the critical thing for a mace or a hammer? Like there are things like that are not very clear. But in this, like, you have a weapon group and you have all the traits associated. So it will say if X with this trait, then this, right? And it's very clear cut.
Yeah, super good. I love it.
Takes a lot of the work out of GMs figuring out what's going on. There are still, occasionally, like you mentioned, there's those one-word rulings with item listings like the Stony Hag's Eye,
Sure.
or lots of other stuff. That's always going to be the case in games as complex as this. But I think that a lot of that is mitigated just because of the trait system.
Yes, 100%. And, I love listening to these discussions. Now, off air, if we want to talk about this spell and you want to like think about, we can look at that.
Okay.
I'm not saying you can't have them. Just saying if
No,
you're going to look at them, let's talk about it.
I don't really want that particular. It wasn't one that I chose, but when I was going through, I was like, oh, when he made the comment of like, oh, there's some that just kind of fit the flavor.
Yeah.
I remembered that
Yep.
there was one that I looked at and I was like, that's literally like on brand, but I didn't want it because I have other
Okay,
things I'm doing
fair
with
enough.
my spells.
But yeah, please don't feel like I'm just going to be like, a jerk.
I just can't decide on spells.
Not all the
Oh
time.
boy.
Well, I have like 3. Like I can pick 2 out of 3.
I know how it goes. Yeah.
And I can't. I keep thinking like every day there's a different 2 that I want.
Yeah.
You get to re-prepare every day spontaneously, right? Or how does that work for you? Do you have a list? You have
She
to
has a
work?
repertoire.
Yeah.
Right, so she only has
So I
a
still have to
certain
pick
number.
out of those 3 I want. I still have to pick 2.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So a certain number of, like, as you gain spells, they become part of your repertoire, but you only gain so many slots to cast
Right.
from that repertoire.
Got it.
So if you wanted to do Dirge of Doom 5 times, well, you don't get 5 slots, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I can do Dirge of Doom 5 times just because I've got.
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Well, a stupid example. See, I don't know how to play this game. I don't
but
even
like
know right here.
but like Noise Blast, like that one, it's like. I think that's a
and you
3.
could do
Like
that
3 times.
And I have 3. Yeah, I have 3. Although I can use it as a signature spell
Right.
at a higher slot.
That is correct
It's like
as well.
charges in a battery, basically. Right?
Yeah.
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 As opposed to Wizard where you're like loading up a gun. That's the sort of classic.
I don't know why they trusted me to be the GM. I don't know what the fuck is going
Dude,
on.
I still don't. I'm not somebody that plays spellcasters very much, and I would like to kind of flex that muscle eventually. But I still don't understand how half the classes get their spells at all.
It's really actually like playing an Oracle and then sitting next to Jenny on Tuesday and seeing like the cleric. It's awesome how just different the flavor of the class
Oh,
is.
sure.
Yes.
Like I get my healing at every single level. I get harm at every level that I can choose to cast. Just one of my spells can be harm, and
That's
I can
awesome.
hot swap it in and out. She has a whole selection of heals that are on its
Oh.
own list.
Divine font.
Yeah,
of the
and,
flex.
and it's
Yeah.
just like I'm like that's so cool. Just how different.
Yes.
Just your
Because you
healer
get spells,
types. Yeah.
and then you get your font spells, and you always have heal spells
Right.
prepared. Now you could use your regular cleric spells to prepare even more if you
Yes.
want.
Yep.
But you always have those in the back.
And that's like mine. I don't have to. Once I took and selected harm as my signature, I don't have to take it anymore at any of the other heightened levels.
Right.
I just
It just
automatically
happens.
get it every single
Yeah,
level.
it's almost like a cantrip. at
Yeah,
that
it's
point.
so good.
Yeah, just auto fills into one
Yeah.
of those ranks
Yeah.
in your repertoire.
So
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, I would love to play, but you guys keep making me change.
Aw.
No, that's not true. I get to play other
you.
games, and yeah, we'll see who gets to come behind the screen next after we finish Bloodlords. But first, we got to finish Bloodlords,
Yep.
and to do that, we need to shut the fuck up
That's right.
and
Well,
play.
that's too bad because we have one more thing we want to touch on.
Oh no, here we go. What's that?
What is it?
PopCon is
Oh.
May 8th
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
Real
that's
quick.
fair.
Ten.
No, no.
We will be there.
Yep. Indie pop.
We will have bar fights for bonding.
Yep.
And we will have our own room as before. Bar fights for bonding is completely free.
Absolutely. You don't even need a badge.
Yeah.
You come in, you play, you have fun, hang out.
And this year you may be in for some surprises. You may, if you do have a badge, you may find us in the exhibit hall.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
That would be awesome.
Spoilers.
Surprise!
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you can always swing by the convention center. It doesn't cost anything to get in the building.
Yep.
And kind of come down that concourse and kind of look at some of the things, some of the cosplayers, some of the other vendors or participants that are hanging out. Now, if you want to get in and see like the vendor hall and the vendor table, tons of celebrities
Oh,
and
yeah.
voice actors and artists and
Authors.
authors.
Yeah, for all of you
Patrick Warburton's going to be there this year. Like what?
for all of you people out there who have teenagers, there are My Hero Academia.
Lots of anime stuff.
I think there was a Jujutsu Kaisen, some One Piece voice actors. Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings, and
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a big get.
We'll be in room 124.
Laura Prepon.
there's quite a few
70s show
voice
fans?
actors
Oh.
there, and I know. Oh, it's Attack on Titans, and My Hero.
Yep.
Because
You apply that you can only be teenagers to like anime. Is that what
I
you're saying?
know, but I'm just saying
Is that
my
the official
teenagers
view,
are
or-
super excited.
Okay.
They're like, I had one almost pass out because she was like,
Wow, okay.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to Pop.
So-
Well, after you pass out, you can come recover in our
Room.
and get a sneak peek of all the different aspects of our channel.
Yep.
And participate in the bar fights. It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And
Okay, now we can play.
Okay. And they're just pointing out that, so yeah, normally our audio quality is spot on thanks to TJ behind the screen there, our tech director. You might be hearing some like staticky stuff. That's not static. Unfortunately, Jenny still has an injured arm.
I do.
So yeah, she's got some ice on it. I hope you feel better. I'm sorry.
Because you're
to see
ruining the
that you're
audio
still-
quality is really what he's getting at.
No, not at all. Because I mean that
Yeah.
to
it
be in
takes
that much
forever.
pain sucks.
Yeah.
So
I'm out
please
of
bear
the
with
brace.
us. Yes, that's a
I'm
good
out of the
sign.
brace, but I still have physical therapy, and I may have been trying to build shelves today.
Okay, well, don't do that.
Don't do that anymore.
And I tripped. I did trip.
Okay, well, yeah, you got to be careful.
You should use one of those boards you're using to build the shelf and just like
Yeah.
splint your arm.
So not to break HIPAA, but let's get back on track. Just wanted to. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying, please bear with us as you may hear some of that, and it's not anything to do with any of our audio equipment. TJ is doing his
the bag
job.
of
He's not
ice.
asleep back there.
He might
He's
be.
paying attention.
No. He's on it.
Yeah, it's a
Isn't
bag of
the
ice.
R in ASMR relaxation?
Maybe.
I don't know what it stands for. Audio stimulation and something.
I will get up early in the morning.
Relaxation.
Let's actually that next time.
No. I'll get up early. I'll sleep my hours, but I will get up earlier than I normally do for Lysander.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we get back into the game.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pulling us back in.
I thought you were
All
telling
right.
us a personal
No,
story
no.
about
I'm like,
the
is this?
bar.
Yeah. It's
No.
like, what's going on?
Pulling us back in.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing us back in.
You're right. I get up early.
Good job. Before you do that, I have one thing about my cat. real quick.
Cool. You have 2 cats now, so you can't leave the other one out. That's right.
One's a
We'll hear
menace
about
and the
both
other
cats.
one's
No, please.
not.
Please go on.
So I get up early. I see. So you guys swapped off, right? So who took? Did you take first watch?
I took second.
Second watch. So Mert's out there doing whatever he's doing,
Laying
and so I'm looking at the star chart that I have, kind of comparing that, getting that kind of situated, kind of figuring out where we are, and then I will take kind of a, I don't know, kind of like a side seat next to where Mert is, and just sit in quiet observation. And kind of as I'm watching Mert, this spell just kind of innately triggers and fires off. And Mert, if you look over at Lysander, you will see whatever color your ghostly eyes are,
Yeah.
that iridescent kind of blue,
Yeah, that blue green. Yeah.
that light is underneath of the Plague Doctor mask.
Oh.
As I cast Dark Vision.
Okay.
And I now have dark vision for the remainder of my daily preparation
That's awesome.
until my next preparation.
That's very
But-
useful.
It's specifically got that kind of eerie blue color that Mert's eyes are.
That's
That's very interesting.
And then I kind of watch, it's interesting now that I'm kind of see things that I've never seen before. And I'm kind of just like a kid in a candy store almost, like, wow, like the world looks totally different when you can see. And then I find myself just focused back on Mert, maybe as he's getting himself, like, kind of wrapping up his stuff, snacking on a trail mix or whatever he's eating. But I am paying specific attention to whatever it is he is eating for breakfast. So, Mert, what are you eating for breakfast?
What am I eating for breakfast? That's a great question. Probably digging into my pack, and I don't. Again, it's a great point. Like, do I even need to eat breakfast as a ghost? I probably don't. But do I? I do. And I actually do have like a set of cooking tools So I may get out like some hard sausages. Maybe get a small cook fire going to kind of warm those back up a bit with a pan. And yeah, have some warm sausages. Obviously they're dry, almost like jerky.
Sure.
So they're not going to be like great, but I'm focusing very intently on just trying to enjoy that, maybe with like a hard biscuit on the side. And yeah, like when Mert goes to eat, almost every time you've seen this where he just kind of closes his eyes and chews very slowly and tries to like focus very intently on the food that he's enjoying. Is he enjoying it? Good question.
Do you drink water and all that stuff too, like during your meal?
Yeah, I probably go through the motions of like getting out my water skin and like having like a little sip. Whether there's actually water in that water skin is a good question, but
so I will not like subconsciously, but I will, as he's eating, I will be eating my breakfast at the same pace that he is eating. And I though I don't have the same sausages or whatever he has prepared, I do have biscuits and hard bread and things like that. So when he eats the bread, I am eating the bread specifically, and when he drinks his water, I am trying to drink the water at the same time.
Freaky.
You say anything
No.
while you're doing this?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I would be very much just focused on my little like. It's almost like a daily ritual, of getting just that rhythm. So I may not even notice, you kind of mimicking me, just enjoying my breakfast.
And I've set far enough away that I'm just kind of like, as he's eating, I'm just kind of like eating. And however long that takes, as long as it doesn't take longer than an hour.
Yeah, I don't think you actually noticed this. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So that goes on, and as the sun rises now over the valley, what's your guys' what are your thoughts here? What do you think you're gonna do?
I think that we should press over to where that pillar of smoke was, or in that general direction. Do I see anything this morning?
Yeah, there's still that smoke there. Yeah, you know where to look, so now it's fairly easy to spot.
And I will, like, if we just continue, like, in that general direction where the smoke is, I think we could probably get there, by mid-afternoon.
At the very least, we might find some lead on Tavia, because we don't really have anything else to go off of.
Or may find someone else who has, tasks for us to do.
So how are you going to approach this smoke?
Are we going to ride our horses? Are we sneaking? Or are we just riding up and going, hey, how's it going?
I mean, I'm generally stealthy.
I think that in trackless desert, it's going to be very hard to be totally invisible.
Right.
So we don't need to make a big commotion, but if we just ride in, see what they're about, and if they decide to,
Be hostile.
run or scurry, then we can definitely, giddy up and run them down with our horses if we have to.
Sure.
I think we can handle whatever's waiting for us.
Yep.
I agree.
So you're going to stay down in the valley.
I mean, I suppose, like, if one of us was, really good at climbing, we could send one of them up the ridge and get an aerial view of maybe we can see in that camp over there. I don't know. I'm not going up there. I'll break my leg on the way back down.
I can send my bird.
Hey,
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
there we
All
go.
right. So remind us how this bird works.
It's called a shadow spy.
Okay.
And basically, I mix together a little bit of blood, my blood, soil, and shadows
I think
to
this
make
time
a
it needs to
creature.
be a Mon's blood.
Huh?
Hey, don't steal my shit here.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's made out of shadows, so
Okay.
that's where it's mine. And I basically tell it to go and, I don't know, spy for me.
All right. And is this a spell of yours, or is
Yes,
this a feat
shadow
of
spy.
yours? Okay. Oh, I see it. I love this one. Okay, so you're going to perform this half-real homunculus, and you said this is in the shape of some kind of bird. What bird specifically are you picking, or do you have something in mind?
You know, hey,
vulture.
Alara,
Toucan?
what kind of bird is common around here?
Oh, good question.
That's a good question.
You've seemed to know a little bit about some nature.
Yeah.
The African swallow.
I would say Alara would know. Bess does not.
Yeah. Yes, Alara would tell you like she's spotted a couple birds around that you could probably mimic as
Okay.
close to with her nature role. And, you know, describe that. I'm not going to get into like
Mr. Goofy
bird
here.
taxonomy.
It has
says
feathers.
Yeah.
It's an African
And
swallow.
legs.
Yes.
Is it carrying a coconut? Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
So it could be a little sparrow. I usually go for the crow because it's a little, you know,
On point.
It's flavor.
it suits my flavor. But a little sparrow will be fine.
Okay. That fits in nicely. So if you know, maybe like up close, it wouldn't trick the eye, but far away, like it would be.
It looks
pretty
about.
much.
It looks like the size and
I agree.
shape and form of.
Then you command it to fly into a location that's within range.
Yeah.
Range is 120 feet.
Yeah, I gotta get closer.
So this takes place after you have moved through the valley for miles and miles, and then you summon this bird. This is fine. We'll still play this. So we'll fast forward like a few hours ahead.
Sure.
You guys have wound your way through the valley, maybe staying close to the wall. You're riding your horses, you said? And then you get to a spot where you're like, okay, just over that ridge, I think is where we need to go. You could still see the pillar of smoke. There's like a number of like ridges and rock walls and I don't really want to say hogbacks, but like these uplifted rock formations that are kind of blocking the view. But you can send this bird in.
Called cover.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
I don't know what a hogback is, so.
Okay, that's fine. Just think a big rock ridge.
So yes.
So it'll observe the space around you. It has your senses, and then once the duration elapses,
basically,
which will be until tomorrow morning, or until you set a trigger.
Until I set a trigger, I basically just wanted to fly around the camp.
All right, what's your
Like-
trigger for it to return?
That would be a good trigger.
It makes 3 circles around the camp.
That's what I was thinking.
Once it knows how
amount
many
of circles.
people. Yeah, or something.
Okay. And then when it comes back, you have to like destroy it.
I have to
and-
break its neck and drink its blood.
And then you'll
to be
see what it
specific.
sees.
So good.
Okay. So you ride forward for several hours, and Ophelia points out like, hey, I have this bird spot. You confer with Alara about how should I make this look to blend it in. Get off of your horse. You spend a minute casting this. And as you're waiting for this bird to scout and report back, what's everybody else doing? Anything you have in mind, or just waiting?
I think I'm going to be seeking, just trying to make sure that, we're close now at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure that no one else sees us coming, or if there is someone coming, like, I'm just trying to be very observant.
I think hanging back even as like, if Ophelia's kind of moved up to the closest outcropping to kind of cast the spell closest to the camp, I'm probably even hanging back from that because the noise of 5 horses kicking through the sand is going to be loud.
I would leave if I'm going up front, I would leave my horse and stealth up there and then cast the spell.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make a little stealth roll back here then to see. Okay. Yeah, you feel fairly confident that you've kind of padded your way through this gravelly soil to a place where you can cast this and get a sense of this camp. So the bird flies away, and you can just make it out this little spot in the pale blue sky. Wispy clouds are kind of spread across. The sun has definitely come up. It is probably late morning, and the bird starts scouting around. And it takes longer than you would have expected for it to come back. But it does come back. When it comes back, it just lands on your outstretched arm and just sits there staring at you expectantly.
Make it sound so horrible.
It is.
It is horrible.
It's a bizarre.
And I need you to completely roleplay and act out the murder of this bird.
Well, to be fair,
It's a
Okay, so you...
she did create it.
Yeah,
so
it's not a real
I
bird.
brought you into this
So-
world and I'll take you out.
Murder your unreal bird. So you do the thing.
Yes, I
And-
twist its neck and I drink its blood.
Okay.
It's my blood anyways.
Your eyes roll back in your head, and what you see, you have this sense of flying. And you're kind of over this reddish brown dirt, and then you kind of go over this ridge, and there is like a walled like canyon, like a box canyon. And at the end of this box canyon, you see this camp below you, and it is very large. What you see is the first thing I think you notice is a massive kind of pavilion tent that is, I don't know, at least 40, 50 feet long, several poles holding this pavilion tent up. There are a number of poles with these green, thin banners kind of flapping in the light wind that's coming into this box canyon. You also, as you kind of wind your way around this, you see an area where there's a number of wagons that have pulled up and a small tent next to those wagons. You continue to circle around the camp and you see a paddock. In the paddock, there are zebras grazing on the coarse, dry grass in this kind of corral. Amongst the zebras, you see these strange bipedal creatures with kind of these like domes on their heads, little spiky knobs all around the ridge of the domes, and they're kind of like hopping around on their legs and bending to crop the grass with the zebras. And you see a building attached to that. Fly around the other end of the box canyon, and there are at least a dozen tents set up on the far wall of the box canyon to one side of the grand pavilion. And outside them are a number of people. Some of them are sparring with weapons. Some of them are marching in formation. Some of them are taking up patrol positions around the box canyon, watching the entrance to the box canyon. You make a few circles, and just the people outside you're numbering 30, 40 at least. And you come back after the vision, you come back, and now you're back into Ophelia's senses.
Were there
That's what
any
you've seen.
symbols on the flags?
No, just the color green.
Okay, I'm gonna move back to where they are.
Okay.
You just described a Ren Fair. I was like trying to think in my head, think, what is this?
Yes.
What is this?
Yep.
Unfair with dinosaurs.
Did you see any turkey legs?
Right?
Yep. There's a turkey leg. The dragon's legs. Wink, wink. There's a guy on stilts like, ooh, look at me, I'm the fairy king. No, there's none of that silliness.
Yeah, I kind of come back into the camp, kind of like looking over my shoulder. It's practically an army.
Well, if they're here to take statues out of here, certainly I would imagine it'd have to be quite the expedition.
Who uses zebras?
Did you see any identifiers?
Zebra. What is a
green,
zebra?
Green flags.
Recall knowledge through the green flags sound familiar to me.
You know what? With society, let's see what we can come up with here.
It was a very large pavilion tent. It had green flags all over it. There was these horses with black stripes.
Yeah, does any of this sound familiar?
You said it was like an army?
There's at least 40 people. There were 12 tents plus the large pavilion.
How were they dressed?
So you were pretty high up. You could just pretty much make out that they were people.
I didn't really get
was
that
it,
close.
Were they wearing armor? Was it reflective?
You might have saw the glint of metal on most
Maybe.
of them, as they were mostly their weapons.
Mostly their weapons, but they were marching in.
So militant at the very least.
Coming back to Amon.
There was a weird creature there as well. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it.
Well, describe it. What do you mean? I mean, I still don't understand, quite clearly what these
Let me see if I can
strangely
draw it
colored
out for you.
horses are.
Let me see if you can draw it out. Okay, what is your craft drawing? First, let's talk about Amon's
Yes.
society check.
Yeah.
So, with your time in the Carter's Consortium, you probably spent time in Southern Geb, or maybe were associated with people who had spent time in Southern Geb. And you've heard tell of people coming into the Field of Maidens and taking away these statues. And this when she describes a green banner, there's something that like some memory that like ticks in the back of your mind, and you think, okay, green something, green banners, green staff, green. There's something about that. You think it is, it is Holima military, and that's what you can remember with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that. And you said green banners. That something familiar about that. I know I've heard of it at some point, but it's on the tip of my tongue. But it's definitely military from the neighboring nation. I wonder if they're
Military.
military.
To take statues? I would have expected bandits.
Are we sure they're taking?
Interesting.
Are we sure they're here to take the statues?
That's what I'm curious about.
Well, I guess it stands to reason that if these were their warriors, maybe they have come to reclaim some of them. But I don't know what you do with it. I guess they're not as petrified as we thought. Maybe they
They
have some magic of their own to try to bring their lost ancestors back.
they were bleeding when we fought them.
And we did hear rumors that they were coming to try to rescue. Occasionally there are rescues.
Well, I suppose that's what this
Attempted.
is, a clandestine expedition to recover certain warriors.
Then wouldn't they know their own people?
Why would they be considered
Yeah.
intruders?
Yes. And
Well,
why were
she-
we not?
She would consider them an intruder.
Is she an intruder?
She lives here.
Either way, I don't think we can take this camp by force.
No.
But if they are a military group of Holomog invading Geb, it's a problem.
I don't think they're gonna invade.
Well, and especially if there's, I mean, I guess we haven't found the other camp yet, but if there's another one of these,
They've brought armed forces
if
within
they're,
our borders.
that's,
Yeah.
if they're coordinating on different sides, this is big.
If there's armed forces from outsiders, I think that we should definitely get to the bottom of it. If they could pose a threat to the nation of Gib.
At the very least, it needs to be reported.
Seldig is so good at disappearing in all the wrong moments.
While these guys are talking, I'm going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to cast Dream Message.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell Seldig,
Dream message.
someone I've met,
Believe we can get a message to sell it.
and I know him by name. Why wouldn't he sleep?
I'm sure he does his little quiescence. from
He
time
would
to
he
time.
would have some quiescence periods, sure.
I just
Is
threw it
that
into
a knowledge
personal-
check to see if he sleeps?
No.
Right.
No, because that's a D12.
I'm sorry. I don't know what that was.
It happens to the best of us.
We've made it into the canyon.
At least there's no like dice tower
There
on
is.
camera, right? I'm not doing that. You know.
We've made it into
Viewers.
the canyon.
Uh-huh.
There's a Hollow Mog army at the the west end of the
Not even the end. You're
In the box
directly west
canyon.
of your camp.
so directly west from where you left us,
Okay.
numbering 40 to 50.
Okay.
Very
so that's
concerned.
a minute of speech. If I'm asleep, I'll get it instantly. If not, the next time
Yep.
I do sleep, I'll receive it, and you'll know that it was sent.
Yep.
Okay. Duly noted.
I just like that the range is planetary. Okay, so
It's very cool, and it's a great way to stay in touch with,
Great.
Basically your commander
Mm-hmm.
in this instance. Now, the question is, you know that this is a force that you can't just walk in and start like, let's roll for initiative. At least you
right.
think.
right.
So, how
put-
do you want to approach it, or do you want me to tell you how to approach it? What is your question?
I have a question. So, can I see the camp from here?
No. You will have to march forward at least to where she was, and then into the box canyon, which is another several minutes walk beyond where Herbert went.
So,
Well, 120 feet.
help me understand. Is there a place where I could watch the camp from a distance?
If you climb up to the top of the canyon and look down on the camp, maybe. But it's going to be, it's not at the edge of like the wall of the canyon. It's like southwest,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be farther south. It's going to be several miles from the canyon wall.
Chances of us infiltrating this camp is probably not gonna be very high.
It's interesting that you bring up infiltration because we had a little system that we played called infiltration.
I know, that's...
There is another system that we could play
Okay.
called influence, right? What do you think the point of?
So as I was going to say, this may be something that we should try. Political negotiations.
Sure.
Those diplomacy skills.
Negotiations to do what? What is your objective here with these people, do you think?
That's what we need to figure out.
I think first of all, we need to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I think then you have to establish what their relationship is with that Medusa or whatever she was out in the...
Sure.
Because if she just says they're an intruder, then...
Well, you know they don't belong here.
Yeah, I tend to agree that they are
correct,
intruders.
but in my mind, maybe she doesn't either.
Sure.
Right? And so she's just kind of ended up here.
Well, based on Ophelia, she's lived here for some time. This lonely maiden is a fixture of the Field of Maidens.
Okay, hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Do you remember when we were in Panked and we had to stay under the radar and we made disguises so we could sneak around? I think if I could get close enough and I could watch them for some time, I think that I might be able to come up with a convincing disguise and blend in.
Interesting.
And then maybe I could wander around the camp and just glean information from
I'm gonna,
eavesdropping.
with your society role, you don't think that that's likely. Because number one, you are a zombie. Number two, these are Holima people. These are Garundi people who you look nothing like.
Okay.
So it'd be very difficult to pass this. And now you could try. I'm not saying it's impossible,
I do have a disguise.
but you think it'd be
kit,
very
but
difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
But it can only do so much.
We should think about this as a way to possibly get some influences in another country, especially if we're going to be backing or siding with the export guilds, because exports go outside of your country.
I agree.
If we could use this as a way to foster some good relations between the two countries.
I tend to agree to an extent, but this is also like an insurgent force beyond the borders.
This is a militant army on our
Yeah,
land.
they ultimately they need to remove themselves. Now, if we come up with some kind of negotiation that, you know,
They're here
will
for
be
their army.
terms that will be acceptable and that Seldick will hopefully be okay with, I'm okay with that.
What did the Medusa tell you to do?
She
Get
said,
them off.
"Keep them out
Eliminate
of
them. No, she said eliminate.
No, she said, remove them from the
them.
field,
Remove them
Okay.
from the field.
Remove them
and
from
we
the
will
field.
talk.
here." Well, they're not
We
in the
just have
field
to
right
get them
now.
off the
They're
field.
box case.
We just have to get them
That's
out
part of
of
the Field of Maidens.
I think realistically we have no idea why they're here or if they're even hostile.
Sure.
And I think that we should go find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think definitely. I mean, this might be as simple as they're looking for something that we can convince them is somewhere else. And they're
Or
moved.
I agree. I don't think there's
Yeah.
taking them on through brute force or infiltrating, flying under the radar. But I think that we could go talk.
Well, and if there's some trinket that will satisfy them so that they can return to Hollomog, then so be it.
or one specific statue.
But speaking of, Patrick, the influence system.
Let's talk about
How
it.
the heck does that work? I can't wait.
Let's have
Excellent-
a
excellent segue.
mid-session actually. So first, I am gonna give out another skull bone, and I think for the bird thing,
Yep.
I think I'm gonna give it to Ophelia. Like, what
Man,
is
you
going
playing
on?
favorites over
I
or
think
something?
this is 3 weeks in a row. I'm petitioning
talked
for a new
about this
GM.
We talked about this last week. I said save some for the rest of us.
Look, she knows my Zell, and she knows how to get the points.
That's what it is.
So, I said slip me a 10, we'll see what happens. She's been slipping me in the 10s. Not really. I think that was just great. That was just great. Like the idea of like, we got to figure out this camp. How are we going to approach it? And boom, you hit on the bird, and that's a perfect use of that spell. So I liked it, and I'm going to give you a skull bone.
And hey, I was also calling back to our infiltration, and I figured, there's no way we can do that. There's got to be something else that we can do.
So cool.
That is much better than Mert climbing hundreds and hundreds of feet up the top of the canyon, potentially dying in the process.
That is the sound of me being bribed.
I just apparently paid off the DM.
Okay, we'll get you some skull bones next week.
Okay, great.
Okay. Just check that again. Clears.
Right. Influence actions, you say, or
Looks good. So influence. So this is like a subsystem game, kind of like Infiltration was. So the way this works is anytime you need to gain favor with a particular group of people or a particular person, you will use various skills like social interactions to sway them to a particular viewpoint. Right now, you guys have talked about like, can we convince them to leave? Can we convince them to go look somewhere else? Can we get them out of our country, right? This is a problem, them being in our borders. So you might be able to convince them to leave, that it's in their best interest to leave. That, hey, do you want to threaten them? I don't know. But sometimes deception, diplomacy, intimidation, those things don't work. In this case, we'll do the influence subsystem and create like a social encounter. But the rounds don't happen in 6 seconds. Like in a combat, the rounds are like an hour or more of conversation and interaction and hobnobbery, maybe. It's a subsystem where you'll gain influence points. Do social encounters with an NPC or a group of NPCs. It may be a race against the clock, right? To reach a certain threshold to convince them to do something before something bad happens. A great view of this is there was a 1E adventure path, War for the Crown, and there was a big scene where you're going, there's like this gathering for the Senate to like vote on this subject of a female heir taking over, and how are they going to vote on this? And you spent time at this party like milling about and talking to people or doing other things to people to convince them to vote a certain way or to maybe stop them from voting. Like, some people could be poisoned and make them sick so they can't make the vote, whatever you do, but it's kind of that kind of thing here. There are a number of influence skills that you can use and perception. So what can you do in an influence round? Let's get to the nuts and bolts of this thing. There's a couple things you could do. You can either attempt to influence a person, and you could do that with a various number of skills, but what skill do you use, right? Do you just like throw some skills at the wall and see what sticks? And hopefully not offend your target. You can also do discovery. You can watch or study an NPC to learn about their preferences. You can choose an NPC and attempt a perception check or a skill check as determined by the GM or the adventure path author. And the DC, is built into their influence stat block. If you succeed, if you get a critical success, you'll learn what skill can influence them and what is the easiest skill to use to influence them. You learn one of their biases. So if there is a particular social interaction that they don't like if they think talking about religion is offensive, you can figure that out just by kind of watching them, observing them, or talking to them and doing a discovery check. So you can learn what skill will influence them, which one has the lowest DC, what their biases are, what their resistances are, like if there's skills that you definitely don't want to use, or if you do, will cause their DCs to get harder. Or you can learn like a weakness, like they really love it when you talk about a certain thing or act a certain way. If you succeed, you get one of those. If you critically succeed, you get 2 of those. If you fail, you don't learn anything. And if you critically fail, well, you might learn something that's wrong. And it can be really funny. Once you have done some discovery, then you can start making influence attempts where you try the skills. Or you can just jump right into skilling. skilling. Is that the check page
like
422
killing.
of the GM core for skilling? It's in the glossary.
It's in the rules.
Yeah, look it
Play
up
the game.
if you don't believe me. So when you influence, you'll make a skill check, choose an NPC and attempt a skill. If you succeed, you'll gain a point, an influence point. If you critically succeed, you'll get 2. And as you build certain influence, you'll get to these thresholds where like something will happen, where you'll gain their trust, or they'll like listen to you more, or they may give you gifts, or they may, have you join their tribe, whatever the situation is. And if you fail, nothing happens. If you critically fail, you start losing face. You lose influence points. So it's kind of a side game that we can play if you want. Now, if you want to just storm in there and start killing people, we can do that too.
We're level 9 now, right?
Yeah, we're unstoppable.
Because I have like 10 reactions, so I think we can take them.
All right.
We'll just
my
plant him at the door.
I don't have enough magnets for the number of people that are in that camp. So
We can take them. We can do it.
I can break them down into like some subgroups, and then we'll have like the bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just throw it in. Let's just see what happens.
No.
Who's down?
After a couple sessions, we'll see what
I
we're
will
playing
be
next time.
momentarily.
I don't think that fits the encounter balance in
Yeah.
the GM core's last objective.
It doesn't, but hey, who am I to stop you?
That's right. Bonsai.
It's
Let's,
a collaborative
Well,
storytelling
let's
game.
just say I think we already decided not to infiltrate and try to beat heads in.
Okay. So if you have decided to try and politically influence this group of people,
Yes.
I will give you one more piece of information, Amon. The people that were tied to this green banner, this green symbol. We can't quite put your name on it, but it is a group within the Holoma culture called the Nuwanians, and that's that piece of information. So, how do you want to approach the camp?
Before we approach the camp, Alara's going to cast, make sure I say it correctly. I clicked up a bit. Telepathic bond on the team.
whoa.
Oh shit!
What's happening
the flip?
here?
That's going to be helpful.
So,
And how long does that last?
8 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty.
What?
So the targets can communicate telepathically with any or all other targets from any point on the same planet. And that's
Okay.
for me and 4 people, so
Yes.
I will do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that.
Well, Murda's not a person because he's a ghost.
What?
Amana's a zombie.
How dare you?
Lysander's just weird. So none of your friends are people.
Oh, dang.
So,
I qualify as the
we're all
most weird
weird.
people.
But we're all the same kind of people.
We're all weird.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm gonna let you do that, even though it has the uncommon tag, and we've talked
Oh, it
about
does?
that.
I don't see it online.
Now, when you click on the spell actual
Oh.
description,
Oh, there. Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
sometimes you have to actually read the thing.
This guy, man.
I didn't read my spells, but
Who picked your spells? You tell them for me.
okay.
Look at your tags. Okay, this is fun. I love it. We'll roll with it, and it makes sense, I think, for Alara.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna on the fly say this is
Okay.
cool. Because this
I
is cool.
Because this is cool.
I got a sorry.
Well, there's no specific
Yeah,
requirement.
Kiva,
like
I'm gonna
faction
need you
requirement.
to subscribe to the Patreon at the $10 tier to allow that.
Pay recompense. Wow.
Just
I didn't know we were doing paywalls with our builds.
Yeah,
That's
no,
good to know.
when I see no check the tags out, didn't tell her. I see what you-
subscribe to the $20 tier, and you can just write their characters for them.
Okay, I'm good with the other one. I checked the other one because I was like,
I don't know if I'm okay with
Oh,
this.
wait, well.
Don't give people that
That's
kind
not
of power,
true.
man.
Don't do that. I mean,
It's okay.
money
paying
talks,
us,
bullshit
I'll
walks.
be paying shooting psychic or
Alara
something.
wants to be able to tell us that I'm running away now. Goodbye.
Okay, no, I love this, and I'm cool with it, all jokes aside. So thank you for helping. And we are moving on to, now that you've cast that,
yes.
how does this work for you guys?
Yeah.
Do you, this is the first time you've gone into their minds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is, I think it's, yeah, I'm gonna, in true Alara fashion, I'm just gonna kind of cast this and not really give any warning.
Ah, lovely.
So I'll be like, hey guys, is this working? Hey,
In our heads?
in your heads.
I just like,
I think
It's working!
This isn't the first time that I've had conversations in my head, so I'm like,
It's
yes.
true.
So does this work like two-way radio, or is this like an auditorium where like we all can hear each other simultaneously? Or is it like
If so, I'm gonna need a sanity check from everyone.
Oh, here we go. We've taken a dip.
just curious?
The answer is we're not saying.
Well, it says with any or all. So what that tells me is that you do get a choice if you're like,
Yeah.
you don't have to like.
Okay, so I can talk to everybody, or I can talk to just.
It has to be 4 willing creatures. So if they're not willing, they can make a save.
Laura's casting a spell, and whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't know until she's in your brain.
Yeah.
I suppose.
No, it's fine.
So I can specifically talk to you, and each of them, or I can talk to all of you.
It says any or
Any
all.
or
what's
all.
it? What's the whole text?
The target. It's pretty. It's short for once.
Which is surprising for most
The
spells.
target can communicate telepathically with any and all of the other targets from any point on the same planet.
So it says you can communicate with us, but not necessarily.
No, the targets.
Yep.
Yep.
Her and up to 4 other willing creatures.
So Mert is probably a little like reticent about being invaded internally. So I think that he would respond to everyone, but in Necril to say like, "Is this working? Did Alara did this? This is unusual."
Like how they just looked at me.
Well, I'm just like, I'm doing it in Necril because I'm thinking if this is some
Someone's invading
magic
mine,
of the
yeah.
Holomog,
Yeah.
they may not speak Necril.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
So yes. Let me see here.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So while Jenny's looking this up, here's my thing. Like, we know the whole debate about internal monologues, right? Mm-hmm. But what if, like, and we know about social anxiety, right? But do you have the kind of social anxiety where you worry that other people are telepathic and they can sense your own internal monologue and key in on things you are thinking about them internally as you're walking past them? And they know what you're thinking, and they are telepathically like judging you for your own internal monologue, and you have to apologize to them telepathically so that you
Put your
don't offend them.
applications in next week for the new GM's
I was gonna
process.
say,
I think he
Like,
just
do you have that level of social anxiety?
do we need
No.
to call somebody?
Maybe.
My God.
I will say that the spell says you get to choose. It's not
But
like you're always.
I'm not talking
to
about
everybody.
spells, man. I'm
Oh,
talking
no.
like
In general.
IRL.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that's a no.
I'm
I
like,
was just
I'm
spitballing.
like, no, there's some relatability there.
Just spitballing.
Okay.
okay. Apparently,
I
this
read
is
something
working.
in Men's Health about it.
Oh, yeah.
Once.
Sure.
Apparently, we're talking to each other.
Yeah.
This was you,
Isn't this
Laura,
cool?
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is beneficial.
Very.
Don't worry, I can't hear what you're thinking. I mean, you can think at me, but I can't hear what you're thinking.
Yeah, Mert's like trying it out, like, and he's just like thinking to himself, like, in like his internal dialogue is like in some of the other languages he knows, like thinking just there's like random phrases in like Requiem, in Fey, in Halfling, like in these languages that none of you speak, and like just kind of looking around to see if you guys are catching on. And
So you just hear Mert's mind coming back with like, is this working? Get baby siga chutampata. Tibalina. Surchachakunka.
Okay.
What?
but do they hear that if I'm trying to just think to myself in these weird languages?
Oh, if you're thinking to yourself.
Right.
But no.
Because that's what I'm trying to try, like trial is like, I'm trying to have an internal conversation, and not only am I having internal conversation, I'm like turning my internal dialogue into a different languages to like try to make it even more cryptic. Like this is just my little thought for me,
Right.
and I'm kind of gauging them. So maybe even like a sense motive to like, are they reacting to the things I'm saying?
Okay. I would say no, because I would say that this is going to work just like talking.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think at Amon or you think
Yep.
at Ophelia, then you can converse just like using your words, but you're using
Yep.
your brain words. But if you're just internally thinking about like something
Yeah.
random and you want to keep that to yourself, you have that control.
Yeah, that definitely like lowers my
Anxiety.
superstition concerning this new thing we're trying out, because I don't want all of these folks in my head all the time.
Yeah, dude,
There
I
are
know
things
exactly how you
that
feel.
Mert thinks that he does not want everybody to know.
Okay. So, talking telepathically and whatnot is gonna be, like, did you say that out loud? Constant.
No, you'll know whether it's out loud or mental.
Well, no, I know. I'm just, when we did this in other games, and you do this in LARP, when you're talking mentally, you do this as a hand gesture to talk
Just saying.
mentally.
We are not gonna have to do all that. Please, for the love of God.
It might make
Keep it simple.
Okay.
That is pretty simple.
No one wants to watch people sit here like this for
That's-
half the show.
I got you.
do a
No,
lot of
we'll
mental
clarify
talking.
if,
Yeah.
whether or not we're talking out loud or if we're talking to each other in private.
Now,
because
okay.
Now I'm thinking of fun hand gestures.
Now,
Like,
now, if you want to work out a system of communication that says, okay, this is mental, and if you like, okay, this is mental, or you do this, or whatever.
That's just what we used to do. We used to do this, and while we were talking to someone,
Okay,
because it means it's mental. It's a LARP thing.
all right.
But anyway.
Dude, the Patreon subscriptions are bleeding away. We have lost all support.
And the whole time this is going on, like,
We don't.
Alara's just kind of standing there, like, just waiting for everyone to be like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
I don't necessarily.
You're
This
welcome.
is awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I feel slightly
Okay,
violated.
so this is awesome. This is going to be useful. And who's leading the charge? Lysander.
So Alara is upset that not everybody thinks this is cool.
Joseph thinks this is super cool. Amon is just kind of listening, and whenever you hear someone's voice, he'll just kind of look over at whoever's speaking, but not really.
Yeah, I will then say to everybody, like, I suppose then if we're gonna go treat with them, we need to ride in as if we are emissaries. So, like, he'll get up onto his horse and start riding in that direction. Like, we're coming in as a company.
Okay.
Do you
Ow.
have something to say?
Who?
Internally or externally, Lysander? I'm watching body language now, okay?
I have nothing to say at the moment.
I think out loud, I would.
You have to do this. I don't know.
No, he
I
said
would have
out
to go like
loud.
this.
I
This
would-
is out loud, and this is not out loud. I don't know.
Sign language.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Out loud, I would relay to the group the name of the like the people, the group that
Oh,
you
okay.
gave
The
me
faction.
earlier.
Yeah,
I
the
would,
Nawanians.
yes, I would relay that to them and ask if that rings a bell with anyone.
Can I get a society roll?
Sure.
I'm gonna roll 2.
I don't want one.
Okay. Yeah, neither of you have heard this.
I'm
Damn.
not particularly interested. I just know they're invaders.
Okay.
Well,
That
it
is
may
the
have told
attitude
us.
we're going in. Okay, so you get up on your horses. It's only 120 feet, 100. Maybe you were farther back, so maybe 100 yards or so.
Yep.
You get up on your horses and you approach as a unit. Okay, you are on your special horse. When you approach,
You know that Merkshu is our leader, right?
I mean, with my as he walks, the undead hands reach up and as he walks. Yeah, I mean, sure, whatever.
a large military encampment of canvas tents, pavilions, and wooden enclosures surrounds a dirt promenade. 24 strong feminine soldiers are performing drills in the center of the circle, their brown skin gleaming with sweat as they silently spin their blades, thrust, parry, spar with a partner, and snap back to attention with their weapons planted firmly in the dirt. Their precise, practiced movements stir up dust clouds around their booted feet. Instead of uniforms, they wear leather armor over garments of faded earth tones, and bright green ribbons tied to their sword hilts and polearm shafts are the only hints of color. 2 muscular women bar the way into the camp with crossed swords. Paint on their faces makes their stern faces look like glowering frowns. The guard on the left has burn scars across most of their right side of their body, and the one on the right has a clean-shaven head. And as you approach, they kind of like cross, their weapons. What is your business here?
What tongue do they speak in?
They start in a language you don't understand, but then they revert to the common Osiriani.
We come to discuss what your business here is. We mean no harm. We're merely just emissaries. Wish to speak.
They kind of turn over their shoulder and say something in a language nobody understands, and a runner goes off to the large pavilion. And after a couple minutes comes back. And again, in this language nobody understands, they're kind of, conversing, looking over their shoulder. You will follow. The bald guard commands you to follow. The companion grunts and they lower their swords to allow you in. And as you come in, a number of these warriors come around you and start escorting you to this pavilion. As you march through the camp, armed soldiers fall into step beside and behind you. An impromptu parade makes it towards the pavilion tent, standing proudly in the center of camp. On the edge of the pavilion, zebras and undersized dinosaurs nibble at sparse grass in their enclosures. The odors of animal hide and manure hangs heavy in the camp. A tall, broad woman with bulging arms and powerful legs emerges out from the main tent and crosses her arms and gives you a piercing look. She brings with her a cloud of pungent clove oil. This odor of clove oil permeates the air around her. She'll nod to the guards and dismiss them, except for the two from the entrance. I am the Rhino. Who are you?
Holy
And
smokes.
that's who you see.
Broad indeed.
That's cool shit.
That is epic.
Yeah.
In my head, to everybody in a whisper, this is our land. We belong here. Stay focused. My name is Lysander Darkthorn, and we are here to find your business as to what you're doing on our land.
Yes, we come on behalf of Spy Master Bedless. What are you doing in Geb?
Field of Maidens is not Geb. Come, we can treat in the pavilion. And she steps into the pavilion, and her guards motion you to follow her in.
I will.
And now we're going to roll for initiative.
Okay.
This is now influence time. So everybody's going to get basically a turn to either do discovery or or to influence. And for initiative, we'll just use perception-based initiative.
Okay.
Mert.
Nat 20. It's a 34.
Okay, so Mert is paying very close attention to what's going on. Lysander.
I have a natural 1 for a 12, in which I think I'm actually the one that's paying too much attention overly to everything that's
Okay.
going on, and he's trying to analyze everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
No, that makes sense. I like that. Ophelia.
29.
Okay. Amon.
16.
And Alara.
35.
What?
Whoa, what?
Is that a net 20 for you?
Nope.
What? Dang. I gotta up my wisdom.
Man, oh man. So let's put people in order here. And we'll allow you to, as we discussed, so this round is basically as she comes in, she sits down in this big chair made out of like wood and hides and kind of leans that big greatsword within hand's reach. The guards take either side, and beside her, or behind her, deep in the pavilion, you see another creature kind of peek out from behind like a table in the pole of the pavilion. And this creature, I did not provide TJ a picture of this because I wasn't sure that I would show you. But this creature is basically, well, probably because they look like they're made out of some kind of crystal, but they have like a humanoid face with like ram's horns, and they just kind of peer out from behind and then just narrow their eyes and then right back behind the pole, back to whatever business. Like maybe they're just listening in. So, why are you here? Alara.
I'm
So this conversation is going to be, this is a round of about an hour of back and forth conversation. So we don't have to like role play the whole conversation. Just tell me like how you're going to, like, are you going to try to do discovery and figure out like how to get into this person's psyche, or are you just going to throw a skill at them and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, my approach, I am, as I'm filling this out and trying to understand what is happening, I'm going to be going for discovery. So it's specifically on the main woman that we're talking to that just spoke to me. So that will be my angle. You know, I'll be just
feel her out.
I'm mainly trying to find, because I know you said that everyone can have biases and different, and
Okay.
I want to know what skills will work the best. But as far as like the conversation goes, I'm just angling towards kind of what we've already stated of, hey, we're kind of like the neighborhood wellness check, just seeing how you're doing.
So you're going to lie.
Spy Master Bedless.
Well, I mean, we are lying from the moment I guess we do want to know what's going on here, but
I haven't lied.
I guess that's true. Well, I mean, I guess it's still technically true. Or,
Yeah, right.
We are working under the Spy
okay.
Master.
Yes.
So do you throw that name out?
I kind of
Spy
already did.
Master. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, which I.
But are you doing that as part of your conversation? So here's
I'm not going to specifically mention
Okay.
the name.
So in the discovery, you can obviously appeal to her warrior nature.
Yes.
Right? Which I don't think you have the appropriate lore skill to do. Or you can use perception or society. Your choice.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Definitely gonna be.
And these are going to be secret rolls.
Okay. I was like, I don't think it's just changed. Definitely perception.
Okay. So as you're just talking to her and observing her mannerisms and how she reacts to certain words you say, does she lean in? What is her body language like? What, does she scowl? You remember in Oblivion when you're trying to like work with the merchants and you're like, oh, if I tell a joke, they go, "Urgh," and if I say they look pretty, they go, "Ee," and you get all those points. That's kind of what's happening.
Oh, okay. That helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody on board? All right, I like it. Obviously, that's not what's happening here, but kind of. Okay, so with
long as
this
we don't
roll,
have to go on a date after this.
maybe. I like shadowy ladies.
Whoa.
She doesn't
I'll
say
take
that.
one for the team. What?
Okay, well, we'll role play that next time.
Another time.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. So, with perception, you have succeeded at the first discovery. And what that will tell you, you can learn either how to best influence her, or what a weakness is, or what a resistance is.
I want to know what best influences her.
Okay. The easiest way to get on her good side with the lowest difficulty. Do you want the lowest difficulty as it pertains to you? Well, I guess that doesn't matter because it's the skills.
Yeah.
So when you look at her and kind of get the sense, she's really looking over Amon a lot. Like her eyes kind of will glance over to him and kind of gauge like his weaponry. And you get the sense that by displaying feats of physical prowess through athletics, you can impress her fairly easily.
Okay.
That's what you know. So that's Alara. Mert. So as this conversation's going on, you maybe notice she's looked over at you a couple times. Do you want to do discovery or do you want to do influence?
I'll do discovery and I'll do society because I think I'm going to lean into. I don't necessarily know what Alara has discovered yet.
Well,
but
quick
I'm
question.
Gonna,
Or do you?
So
Yeah, I can share that.
Yeah.
I'll share that. Hey
You gotta
guys.
go like this?
Hey, I'm just trying to make it easy. I
No,
was
it's
trying
fine.
to
You
make
could
it
just
easy
say,
on us.
I telepathically say.
I telepathically let everybody know that she
she's
prefers
into physical shows of strength.
feats of athleticism.
So knowing that, maybe I will skip discovery, but I will still lean into discussing. Like, you seem like a powerful warrior. I've never seen a weapon like that. I come from north of the Axum Woods. I've
Yes,
never.
he grips them. Yes.
Yeah,
Crafted it myself.
it's impeccable. I've never seen anybody drill holes in a blade to reduce the weight. It's smart. Appreciate that. Yeah, I come from north of the Axon Woods, so I'm not familiar with your fighting style, but it's impressive. Perhaps we could step into the yard and you could show me a thing or two, and I'll kind of maybe, because I still have that warhammer kind of on my belt. I can kind of maybe, not draw it, aggressively, but pull it out.
As you
and
reach
kind
for it, both of her guards immediately
Yeah.
like unsheath part of their blades.
Yeah.
And she's like waves them down.
Yeah, just very slowly pull it out and then do a quick, almost like shaking a wet rag and switch it into a big bastard sword.
She looks at her guards and says something,
Yeah.
and they're just narrow with their eyes at you. Perhaps, little one, we could step into the yard, but I need to know more about you first. So, are you trying to influence her then?
I'm going to try to influence her with athletics.
With an athletics, a display of physical prowess. So you
Yes.
go through some motions with this weapon as she's
Yep.
leaning back and waving her cards off and watching. Okay, so let's look at your athletics and see how well you do.
In my head. In his head. Psst, Amon, she made that sword.
That is true. Is that really the number in athletics?
Yeah? What about it?
What the Okay. Sir, you have critically succeeded as you pull out your weapon and do this
Let's
display.
go.
And this also the ability to shift your weapon into something else and wield it with as much skill.
Yeah.
She just kind of leans back. You see the hand let go of her sword, and she just kind of puts it on her leg, and just watches you. Small smile starts to creep across her face.
Yeah, like seeing the different blades and pole arms that they were wielding. Like I'm especially shifting between a short sword and then even a one-handed short spear, kind of displaying similar weaponry to what they're used to wielding.
That's a critical success.
That's super
so you have
good.
earned
All right.
2 points. With your wielding these weapons, you come to this valley for a reason. Tell me why you're here.
We're following a person of interest that has come to the Field of Maidens.
Oh?
But of course, imagine, seeing banners of Holamog this close to Geb. We were obviously curious and came to treat with you.
Sure. But tell me about this person you seek.
And I'll take it just a really quick, should I tell her, to the party? Telepathically.
Yeah. I'll kind of assume any conversation amongst you is telepathic, unless
Sounds good.
it's get a load of this bitch.
At this point, I don't think it would hurt.
All right. Yeah, I'll tell her, we're looking for somebody who's escaped us, a hag that has been brought back as a vampire. Why she's here, we're not sure, but she's on some errand down here, and we plan to put a stop to it. We followed her from the Hollow Flesh Market to the north.
I see. And she whispers a couple things to the guards in, again, their language. She shakes her head. We have not seen this creature you described. This is unholy magics, though. We will certainly keep an eye out.
Thank you. Yes.
My
if you see any
scouts will
sign-
also be told to watch for this hag that comes back from the grave. Unnatural.
Yes, I will certainly report to the spy master if you assist us. I'm sure it will go favorably for you if you aid us in finding this hag.
She also leans back and whispers to the guards and some hand signals and then leans back in. Ophelia.
I'm going to go with discovery,
Okay.
and I would like to use society.
Society. Okay.
As per conversation, I'm going to tell her more about Iron Tabia's abilities.
Okay.
So this hag is adverse to someone telling their feelings
Darkest secrets.
Okay.
and dark secrets.
So with this discovery, you're now going to learn something about her. So you can either learn another skill you can use to influence her, you can learn a weakness or a resistance.
Let's go with the resistance.
As she's listening to you, she doesn't mince words. She is not political. She doesn't care for politics.
Okay.
Diplomacy is not her jam. If you try diplomacy on her, she'll see it as empty words and false flattery. And it will make things harder for you if you even try. And that's what you learn. Amon.
Okay. I'm guessing you share that.
Yep, straightforward, guys.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to influence.
Okay.
So I heard Ophelia mention that she crafted her weapon. Right?
Yeah, I whispered that to you, but she also said it out loud.
So I'm going to further recount maybe some of our interactions with Tavia, like just kind of telling stories, talking about my shield and my weapon and how that's coming to play, and then like make note of her weapon. And I'm going to use deception because I'm going to kind of gas her up a little bit with like the ability to, like, I know with my level in crafting that I could do that. And maybe some of it's pretty well made, so maybe some of it's like kind of amateur, but I'm going to aggrandize like her ability to craft this weapon.
Okay.
And maybe if I could craft weapons that well, maybe we would have had a better outcome with Tavia.
Wow.
I just rolled a 19.
Dang.
That's really good for Amon. Because
I imagine.
The
Deception
DC
is not a...
was 30.
Scary.
So you
Because he has
build up her skill in crafting her weapon. After you describe your, how you've devised your armaments. And she's very impressed, but also like, yeah, this guy sees me as a true warrior. And you have gained another influence point.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You are a strong warrior, you and your little friend. Perhaps not only sparring with me, but you can spar with my warriors and learn some of our techniques and our styles, and we can learn from you. This would be fun for us to watch and gamble with. You have gained an influence point.
I'll definitely talk to the party. She says, gamble. What is going to be at stake? Be concerned?
They will probably bet on who would win, most likely,
I
between
suppose.
us. Or between their warriors and you.
That brings us to Lysander. You can influence or discover.
Well, I don't want to.
He doesn't want to make an impression.
I don't want to influence because all of those skills that you asked for influence, I have terrible stats in.
I'm
But
going to try athletics.
yeah, yeah. Let me just fall up the stairs. But what I would.
And
what
for
I-
my next trick,
Yeah, right. I just fall off my horse. Okay, so here's what I want to try. You tell me no if you won't take it.
well, you can do anything, whether or not it'll influence you.
Sure. I want to do discovery.
Okay.
While this conversation is working its way around, I would like to do automatic writing. On her, I have her name.
Oh.
And it's going to give me a lore that I'm not trained in.
Oh.
And then I'm going to use my astrology star chart to give myself a +4 to that roll.
Okay.
+4.
Here we go. Did you already roll the Star
I
Trek
did.
thing? Okay.
It's right there.
You rolled a D4 and got a 4.
I got a D4 and
See
I
it.
rolled a 4.
You son
So,
okay. So this is, here we go.
yes.
What
So-
lore are you looking for?
Automatic writing. They're having a conversation. I've got her name. I'm
Automatic writing is one of your Pieces.
Yeah, that's the one you have to come up with a story. But I'm less interested.
We
in...
ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I'm less interested in that. You could flush it out tomorrow or next week at the beginning. I scribble on the paper. I get whatever the information is about her, and I want.
But you will ultimately use your occultism.
Correct.
For the appropriate lore.
Correct.
Using your occultism bonus.
Correct.
It's very sly, you sly devil, you. Okay, so back to Alexander. Occultism. What is your occultism at level 9? Holy
level 9.
Shit.
It's an 18.
Yeah. You don't have to share the number if you don't want, but that is a high number.
And then I rolled a 4 on my d4, which gives it a +4.
Yep.
So
And
what?
there's
War
that.
crafting.
So yeah, lore.
You use occultism
Yes.
for whatever is appropriate.
Correct.
And that would be warfare lore.
Yes.
And you have critically succeeded.
Great.
Because that was one of the easiest ways to discover information. Now you can learn another skill to influence her, a resistance, or a weakness. You already know she's resistant to diplomacy.
Let's go weakness.
She doesn't fear anyone. And this may be a liability. She views any aggressive threats as the mark of somebody worthy of war. Creative insults even amuse her. A forthright challenge made with intimidation. If you challenge her, like you talked about, like sparring in the yard, you can make an intimidation check, and knowing this and rolling that into, you lower her DC to intimidate her by 2.
Okay.
Because she's easy to kind of egg on into like, let's do it. Like this is fun for her. So, with that discovery, you have uncovered her weakness. You have uncovered her resistance, and you have uncovered a skill, or now 2, to influence her. You have 3 influence points. And after, this is like 1 hour of talking. She doesn't have a whole lot of time to spend with you, but she's started to take a liking to you, especially Mert. And she snaps her fingers and tells somebody to like go run and fetch food. And a group come back with like some smoked meats and some root vegetables that have been steamed. And she's like, please join me. We will talk more next week. Because that is the end of this episode. So,
Damn it!
Stay tuned next time as we continue this discussion with the Rhino, as these Gabites try to figure her out and convince her to leave. Right? Is I think what you're out for, or I don't know.
We got to figure out what
fight.
she's doing to figure out what our actions is for her, right?
That makes sense.
Here's the funny part. We thought Lysander had this under hat.
Yeah, I was
Nope.
gonna say that. It seemed not great that you rolled so low on the initiative, but it might have ended up being.
Yeah, as
Perfect.
everyone, because that whole round took about an hour or so of conversation, and during that time, he's just like,
Well, I now have a secondary objective that I want that sword. That thing looks awesome.
Well, in my mind, I just had this
Steal her
picture of
sword.
her like having all these conversations, and I'm just like blacked out in the corner, and she's just like, "Is he okay?
yeah.
Does he need an ambulance?" Like,
yeah, we were at the end of the episode. Otherwise, we'd have RP'd that out a little more. But that was very cool. Everyone did a great job. Fantastic work. I like how we figured out the subsystem pretty quickly.
Yeah, we
and
got
we're not
on.
going to fart around like we did for a whole session with infiltration. So be sure to stay tuned next time as they continue to try and influence the Rhino. We'll see what that means. We'll see what kind of things they can discover about what's going on here, and what boons you may get from that. Next time. In the meantime, don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern for the Soul Sever campaign, and then Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern, I'll be on Barnabas Brushes painting miniatures for use in the Elite Encounters tabletop role-playing game games. Until then, thanks for supporting us. Be sure to hit the follow button or the subscribe button, and if you want to throw some money our way, you can hit us up on Patreon and support us financially so we can continue to bring this stuff to you. Until then, have a great night, everyone. Thanks for the help with the spells, Kiva. We'll talk later. Have a good night.
Thanks,
bye,
everybody.
everybody.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Oh, that was good.
Dude, that art is so cool.
I am so glad
The
you
Rhino?
went
She
looks
last.
so awesome.
She's a badass.
Yeah. That sword was awesome.
I need to win the lottery so I can figure out whoever drew that and be like, can you do like a party portrait? Because that would be.
Oh, that would be super cool.
Awesome.
We can always look into the artists are listed in the book, and we
Yep.
can kind of get an idea of their their kind of signature that they put on these art pieces.
Yes.
A lot of times you can see like their initials or something.
Right.
So
I'd like to
good.
see more of their portfolio because that is such cool
There's
art.
some pretty sick art, right?
I think I'm gonna talk Mert up next week. Like, he's one of our greatest warriors.
I'm sort of the Blades Master. I've got all these weird swords and weapons that I carry around.
Yeah, Mert seems to have definitely made an impression on her.
Careful.
You like that? Skill increase.
You might
level
get
9?
married.